security reasons. Though when it gets time for that first dose to happen, I think we do expect, based on conversations we've had with health officials, that there will be some sort of
Look, Trump's winning. Hey man, look, Trump's winning, everybody. 11-3. Wow, look, Trump's winning, everybody. Oh my God.
20,000 doses here in Chicago as they begin that process. And as we look forward, next week they will then start moving into vaccinations for those at long-term care health facilities as they begin to disseminate that vaccine here in the Chicagoland area. And one last point is that is just for the city of Chicago. We do expect an update from county officials for the surrounding suburbs as well, as they are getting ready to lay out their vaccine distribution plan, as they expect it to arrive shortly here, at the very least by the end of the day, if not tomorrow. Anderson.
It's exciting. Omar Jimenez, I appreciate it. I want to go to Sarah Murray, who's outside George Washington University Hospital in D.C. Do we know if the Pfizer vaccine is on site yet?
It is on site, and Anderson, there's a lot of high-stakes choreography that came with this initial Pfizer handoff. You know, it arrived here earlier this morning, and a CDC official was explaining to doctors, look, you essentially have 3 minutes when you take these vials out of this thermal shipper. You have to count the number of vials. It was 195 here. You have to check the expiration dates, and you have to get them into the ultra-cold freezer. So we spoke to some doctors here today who said they did that process. It went smoothly. They did it in 3 minutes. They got the vials into these ultra cold freezers, and then they took one of the vials out. It has about 5 doses in it, and they're in the process of de-thawing that. That process takes a couple of hours because of how cold these Pfizer vaccines have to be kept. You know, they don't want to de-thaw too much at once because they don't want anything to go to waste. So they're in the process of de-thawing their first doses, and they're going to start doing vaccinations later on this afternoon. You know, they only have 975 doses initially, and they have about 4,500 healthcare workers here at GW that they would like to eventually get vaccinated. That gives you an indication that this is going to be part of a process. We are going to see the first steps in that today, but it's going to take a while. And as we were talking to doctors here today, even though, you know, there are only going to be a few folks who start, they say it is a turning point. It is a light at the end of the tunnel. These are folks who have had to put patients on ventilators, who have seen patients pass away. So it's a very big day for these healthcare providers.
Yeah, it's incredible development. Sarah Murray, appreciate it. Moments ago, we saw medical professionals in Queens, New York, administer the vaccine. Let's take a look.
Give me a second on that feed, guys. I'm in the kitchen. Give me a second to grab my coffee. Making Rogie some food here. Here you go, buddy. Yummy, yummy. Yummy, yummy, buddy. There you go. Put that in there. Alright. Ah, that freaking feed, man. How about that feed, though, going down? What's up with that? Okay, I got no creamer. Great. Well, I got creamer. I just got cribs. Hey, creamer. Keep them in my cannabis fridge. Man, I can't believe that feed went down on me. Son of a bitch. Ah, I said went down on me. Ah. Didn't realize it. That's what he said. Okay, give me a second. Alright. Little creamer here. Okay, put this back in. Rogie should be okay, because I let him out earlier this morning, I believe. If I remember correctly, I can't remember. Did I let you out already, buddy? Or do you need to go out now? I can't remember. Alright, let's see what's going on with this fucking feed, man. What the fuck, dude? This is bullshit, man. Okay, let's see here. They are really fucking me over. Yeah, stratagems. I guess you don't know how to fucking count, do you, fucking idiot? And I guess you don't know how to read chat on a screen, do you fucking idiot? Yeah, hey, stratagems. Thanks for all that fucking information you just provided me, you dipshit. In fact, why don't you leave, man, so no one will be watching? Wouldn't that be great? Just go. Okay, maybe this will work. Let's try. Okay, come on, baby. Fuck yeah. Give me a second. You entered incorrect email or password. Okay. This should work. It's just acting really weird all of a sudden. I don't know why it just crashed on me like that. Dude, don't you think I know how many people are watching me on all platforms that I'm broadcasting to? I don't need you to fucking tell me. Right. I've got 25,000 subs and one person is watching because YouTube doesn't tell my audience when I go live, bro. That's what's going on. That's why I broadcast to 16 channels simultaneously. Do you get it? You really needed me to explain that to you, huh? It's funny. Hi, Lisa. Oh, you're not trying to be a prick? Well, did you notice I was talking to other people, Mr. Not Trying to Be a Prick? That's kind of weird, huh? You think I was just talking to a bunch of people and saying hello to people that weren't existent? Oh, you don't get to tell me to chill out. Now you get blocked from my channel. I'm going to block you on YouTube, and I'm going to block you on here. You don't get to tell me to chill out. Restream block. Boom. Bye. New bitch.
And celebrate.
Oh, Nick, he's gone.
They know how many lives have been lost, how much this...
Okay, here's an update. Trump's got 11 votes and Biden's only got 3. Hey, man, Trump's winning, everybody. Trump is winning the election right now. So, there you go. Trump is winning. Winning.
Yeah, and as you said, this is step one, and even step one for the people who are getting the vaccination today, they will need a second shot down the road in a number of weeks. And I think it's such an important point.
This is what I think we're going to do.
That so many health officials want.
We'll mute that, and let's just go with the count view. All right? We're just going to go with the count in the corner. We'll keep that in the count. Deaths are almost at 300,000. Okay, we can get rid of this one. We can get rid of this. And can leave that there. And now we've got our... Oh, I got rid of the wrong one? Is that what I just did? That's so funny, I just did that. Okay, give me a second. I'll do it again. I got rid of the wrong one. Here, we'll just go like this. We don't need the coronavirus numbers up there. It's too fucking depressing. Okay, and we'll just have this right there. Okay? And we will watch and we will enjoy this as it happens live. Okay? This is going to be freaking great. Okay, you got 2 doobies rolled. Yeah, if somebody comes in here and tells me, hey, there's only one person watching and it's me. Well, you're blocked. So now I guess nobody's watching me, huh, guys? Fucking tell me to chill out, you little cunt. Okay. I don't know who these little bitches fucking think they are. Be nice to your audience, what? I don't know who these little bitches think they are. You know? Fucking show up on a goddamn live stream and act like they fucking own the motherfucking chat. You know? Oh, I'm the only one here. You're talking to yourself. Oh, you got 25,000 subscribers and there's only one viewer. Oh, well, who the fuck are you, you little fucking little dick prick? Get the fuck out of here. I don't need you in here. Man, this shirt has seen better days. That is for sure. So it's still 3-11, man. Trump's winning. You guys think Trump's going to take it? Trump's ahead, man. Right now, somebody's watching this and they're nervous for fucking Biden. I don't understand this. Okay, I'll explain it, Sonia. The way the American election works, there's two colleges, they call them. There's the actual vote of the people, and there's the electoral college. The electoral votes are 50 representatives, more actually. It's more than one per state. Representatives who represent sections of each state that vote for those people. They're supposed to get the vote from the people and then bring it. They don't always do that. Sometimes these people get bought, which is what Hillary Clinton was doing against Bernie Sanders. She was buying off the electoral college out from underneath Bernie Sanders. She fucking bought them off. Making them political deals, because that's how the Clintons work. They promise you shit and then they take your money. Bernie Sanders didn't operate in that way, so he got beat. The Electoral College collects their votes, and the people they speak first, right? The people's vote is counted, it is considered, and then on December 14th, which is today, the Electoral College officially reports in their votes. Now, we've got the mainstream media here in this country. They follow it. They report on it as it happens. So we really don't give a fuck about the Electoral College or what they have to say. We already know. This is hey, Kenneth, call me Nay, bro. Anyway, N-A-Y, nice to meet you. This is the official announcement of the tally of those Electoral College votes from the representatives, not from the people. When this is done, the winner will have 270, and the loser will have less. We know that Biden ends up with like 306, but we're just going to get to watch it again. It's fucking great. There's nothing better than going to a football team, knowing that you're going to a football game and knowing that your football team's going to win the fucking game. Doesn't that feel great? Oh, we're going to win this one. So that's where we're at. We're going to win. And it's fun. It's fun to watch the loser lose. Unless you whistle blow on the Clintons, then they just send Chelsea in ninja suit to your jail cell, right? Mike Meyer, good morning. Stuke says, yo. Sonia says, but why they count again? Oh, and then you go, okay. Right, it's the official tally. So they kind of separate them to give them a little bit more validity. That way it doesn't all hit you all at the same time, I guess. That's just our stupid laws here. Watching a game, you'll win, right? Holy fuck. Hey, I mean, how many of you guys used to watch, let me just think, like the spider fight in the UFC? I mean, how many of you watched the Irish guy that fights the lower weight class in the UFC? I can't think of his name. You know that motherfucker's gonna win every time, but you watch anyway. You like watching your team win. You like watching your pick win. That's the way humans are. Hey, Janine. I think I composed a good tweet. Thank you, Stukes. Good. I'm glad that you did. I think I need to let my doggy out. Hey, doggy, you need to go outside? You want to go outside? Or no, you just here? Oh, you want me to pick you up? You want me to pick you up? He runs away from me. At least so cute. You want me to pick you up? You want to jump up here? Up here. What's up here? Oh, your legs. I got my legs. Oh, I want a hug from my bees. I love you, bees. Oh, you've been eating your food. You're a good boy. He's so cute. He gets food on his nose when he eats. That was yesterday's shirt, right? Yes. Okay. Anyhow. Yes, Aaron's your guy because he wins all the time. That's why you like him, because he always wins. You don't pick the loser. So that's partly what makes. They're on commercial break. That's why we're on a break from the count, guys. It'll come back in a few minutes. That's why it's fun to watch, you know? Beat up on the Jets. Everyone knew that would happen, right, Michael? Hey, Carson's here, everybody. Carson was watching the earlier show. Definitely smells his own shitty finger. Not a fan, huh, Billy? Not a fan. All right, you guys are trying to get me high already. I see. That's good. Who dropped a digit? Somebody dropped a digit. It was Sonya and then Kenneth Nira. Kenneth, you never came back, buddy? I just asked you to call me Nay, bro. It was nothing offensive, bro. That's just what people call me on the live stream. N-A-Y. That's my nickname. I go by Nay. It's short for Banane, but it's just easier to say Nay. You know, just call me Nay, bro. N-A-Y. Say, hey, Nay. Six letters, bro. You can do it. Just like Janine did. Karsten says what? Tanner Heiss says good morning. So it was Sonya gave me a 3. Sonya, thank you so much for the 3. I cannot wait to smoke with thee. This is good. I think we're good. I think we're good. We're very good. Cheers, Sonya. Thank you. You guys keep those digits coming. I might not get to your digit on every show, but those digits get me smoking, and they get you sharing. So please feel free to share and drop digits at will, guys. Hey, Tatanka Wasaka. Hello. What a name. Tatanka Wasaka. So it looks like we're back. So I'm scared to take the vaccine because I've had Bell's palsy before. It puts me at a higher risk of catching it again. I don't want to go through that again. So I'm literally scared to take this fucking vaccine now. Oh, Bong Loaded was talking about me? Oh, I love it, man. Bong Loaded mentioned me on a live stream? I'm fucking honored. You guys realize when these old school cannabis guys, you know, they called them weed tubers. So understand, a lot of these guys, these old school guys, have a problem with me then when they check out my show and they hear me putting down people that use words like weed and marijuana and pot and dope and reefer. And so when someone like Bong Loaded can see past that, see past my rhetoric and see me for the person that I am, I fucking love him for that so much. It makes my life so much more easy, you know, because it shows people that I am acceptable. You might not like my choice of words, but if someone like Bong Loaded, who literally named his daughter after his daughter's name is Mary Jane, you know, and I've spoken on that before too, and he forgoes it, you know. He's a true friend, and I just love him for that, you know. I love him for that. You remember when I got Bell's palsy? Yeah, that was about the time you stopped watching me, BJ, wasn't it? Isn't that weird? Kind of weird. I'm not being a prick, dude. I'm just fucking with you. I know that had nothing to do with it. I remember when you got Bell's. Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't want it again either. Fuck that shit. Yeah. So personally, I'm scared. I'm fucking scared. You know, I know it's a 1 out of 44,000 chance. But what are the chances if you've already had Bell's palsy before of catching it again? Is it less than 1 out of 40? I don't know. You know, I'd just assume fucking sit here on the mountain by myself, isolate, and wait a year or two and find out what the fuck's going on with that shit before I dive in. And that's bad. It's bad. Because most of y'all don't suffer from Bell's palsy, you're not in my risk group, and I'm in a position to where I should be promoting you guys and goading you guys and pushing you guys to get this fucking vaccine. You know me. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, and I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to go get it first thing, first chance. I was like that until I found out that there were a couple of cases of fucking Bell's palsy, which I've already had. And now I'm scared to have that fucking virus. I'm scared to have that fucking vaccine. But hey, man, I hope that's why you watch my goddamn show, because you know I'm always going to be honest with you guys, and I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I'm going to get the vaccine and then not get it, or, you know, y'all should get it and I'm not going to get it. No, I'm going to fucking tell you the truth. This is why I'm not going to get it, and still it's the reason why I feel like most of you probably should consider getting it. Do as I say, not as I do. That's a really hard line to push, and yet I'm going to push it down your fucking throats. So understand, there might be a hint of hypocrisy there, and you can call me a hypocrite all you want, and I will give it to you. Yes, I am being hypocritical, but I've got a good reason, and if you hear me out, I think you'll agree with me, even though YouTube will probably block this fucking show on all 6 of my channels for putting out misinformation. I can't lie to my audience, man. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And when I decide to finally get that fucking thing, I'll let you know. You'll be the first to know that I'm going to get it. Yeah, Bell's palsy sucks if you rely on your face to communicate with people 3 times a day. You know, Bell's palsy sucks if you rely on your face to sing music out of your mouth for other people, or even for yourself. You know, Bell's palsy sucks if you want to pronounce words without sound like you're fucking farting out of the side of your mouth, you know, every few syllables. You know, Bell's palsy sucks. It makes you unattractive to other people. You don't look normal anymore. You know, you're not, what's the word I'm looking for? Symmetrical. You're no longer symmetrical. Human beings find beauty in symmetricality. All right? When things are not lined up, they're not as attracted. You know, and it sucks. So yeah, I've got a serious phobia, if you want to call that, or a fear around this fucking vaccine now and Bell's palsy. And I'll tell you about it, and I'm not going to hide the fucking news from you. And if it's 1 or 2 out of 44,000 people that got it, I'm going to fucking tell you it was 2 out of 44,000, and I don't want to be number 3 out of fucking 44,000. You know, I don't want to go through that again. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Sonia. Hey, guys, look. Biden's losing 7-22. Biden's behind, man. Biden's biding his time. Trump's about to take a dump. My favorite kind of fucking sporting event, my favorite kind of competition is the one that I want to win. No, let me rephrase that. My favorite kind of sporting event is the one that I want, is where the one that I want to lose loses. And I really want him to lose. And just understand that when this guy wins, we all lose all over again. It's so fucking crazy. It's true, though. And anybody that comes in here and goes, how dare you support Joe Biden? Just laugh and laugh and laugh at him, because you guys know how I feel about that piece of cunt shit right there. You know how I feel about that piece of cunt shit. So, you know, hey, come down on me for enjoying the moment. You know, you want to give me a good tongue lashing for living in the moment and for enjoying what is rightfully ours, as H.A. Goodman loves to say. You know, oh, Trump needs to regain back what was rightfully his, or what is rightfully his. We'll see how rightfully his it is in a few hours here, H.A. Goodman. We'll see how rightfully his the presidency is here in just a few minutes. I can't wait. Rightfully his. Oh, because he was winning on election night. And so that's why it was rightfully his, because he was winning on election night. That's the fucking argument. Trump was winning on election night, therefore he deserves the election. That's H.A. Goodman's argument, because it was Donald Trump's argument. I love to say this to supporters. He still tries. Right? How do you even get it in the first place? Dave, it's an ear infection, man. It starts with an ear infection. It goes to your brain. There is a nerve in between your brain and your ear, And when your ear canal swells up, it puts pressure on that nerve and it causes temporary paralysis on your face. If you can get the ear infection to go away, usually with antibiotics or steroids, the nerve will shrink back down and the paralysis will go away almost overnight. But it's like a month of, hey, Josh Ham, please, Josh, no flags on my live stream, bro. We don't do flags on here. If you want me to talk about it, I will. But no, nothing against Canada, bro. Love Canada, love Canadians, love all countries and all people. But if there's one thing I fucking hate, it's a fucking flag, bro. We could talk about it if you want, if you don't understand. You know, flag isn't people. Your people. I love you. But I don't love that fucking piece of cloth that you're fucking waving around all proud and shit. And excluding everybody else from my live stream from your little group with your piece of colored cloth. There, I think I explained it. I didn't even mean to. Sometimes I just go over that slippery slope, man. I'm sorry, bro. Seriously, I didn't want to do it. I failed myself. My mouth just started blabbing and I couldn't stop it. But yeah, that's basically where we're at with flags. There's a lot of tools out there, bro. There's a lot of tools that cause separation and hate and divisiveness or divisiveness, however it's pronounced. You got it? You're too good to me, Josh Ham. Josh Ham, you are way too good to me. This is what I propose. Josh Ham, I'm going to do a dab for you, man. All the way back to Canada. You make my life so much easier when you're nice to me, man. When I'm being a prick about something and you're being nice to me, God damn it, you make my life easier. So thank you for making my life easier, Josh Ham. I want you to know, I don't think any of my regulars have dropped a digit on me at all, except for, oh wait, Rob McNeil did. All right. Rob and Sonia did. Okay, Rob did, though. Rob McNeil and Josh Ham, this dab is for you guys. Thank you both for dropping the digit and for being nice to me when I'm explaining flags, which is really hard to talk about. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I dated for a while, lived with a woman from Canada. She was amazing, man. She's an amazing woman. So there's absolutely no love, or I should say there's absolutely no bad feelings between me and Canada. Trust me. All right. So we're gonna do some spirals here, man. We got some vortexes going on. Check out the vortex in the globe, guys. It's so cool and beautiful. This is a Hitman piece. Hitman. And right now, Donald Trump in the lead with 22 electoral votes, and Joe Biden is time with only 7. Back to you, Aaron. Back to you, Aaron.
Capital Lansing, where electors are set to vote around 2 o'clock Eastern time. So, Diane, tell us what you're saying.
Yeah, and Aaron, that 2 p.m. Start time here will likely begin with those electors being escorted by police into the Capitol. which is closed to the public, in part due to COVID, but also because of planned protest. And then last night, an email went out to House and Senate staff and members, letting them know that both House and Senate buildings are being closed because of a, quote, credible violent threat. And that is from the press secretary of the Senate, saying that they didn't close those buildings due to the impending protest that we are expecting here today for the Electoral College. It was because of a threat of violence that they had been briefed on by Minnesota State Police that they made that decision. Now, of course, we have seen protests really for the past month or so, and even before the election here in Michigan. But the expectation is those 16 electors from the state of Michigan will cast their votes.
Me too, dude. That is so funny that you just said that.
2 p.m. today.
That is so funny. Tony M. Jaya, Tony M. Jaya. That is, dude, how the, is it Diaya? You gotta tell me how to pronounce your name, Tony. Tony, I'm sorry if I called you man or dude. You look like a woman to me, Tony, especially with an I after your name. I'm sorry, hon, if I did that. I saw Tony and thought guy. And I looked at your picture and said, that's not a guy. Tell me how to say your last name. I'm very curious, number one. Number two, I wish I could bet on this race too, Tony. I would be betting. And Trump takes the lead again. He's 3 times as many points in front of Biden, who is biding his time. Donald Trump with the big 28. He takes the lead early. Everybody pay attention as Donald Trump is in the lead. He is definitely winning right now.
The vote goes on. Even with the state Supreme Court, I believe, still deliberating a lawsuit from President Trump, right?
That's right. The 10 electors will gather here in Wisconsin
Banana Joe
at the state capitol later this afternoon. What room they'll meet in, we don't know. That's because the electors don't even know what room they will meet in. We just learned moments ago that they will be escorted.
Karsten gets the next one.
Into the state capitol, and they will have that significant vote in a secret room. This is an extra layer of security that has been put in place because some of the presidential electors here have been receiving threats.
Orange Bud for Karsten.
Presidential elector Kerry Baker. He said at least 3 of the 10 electors here in Wisconsin are black, and he is concerned about the electors who look like him. He said he has received threats. Those threats started almost immediately after Joe Biden became president-elect, and he said no matter how many threats they get, they will continue to go on. Aaron?
Oh, all right.
Okay. I'm gonna wait. Thank you very much. We're not gonna get into that. Whatever. Fuck you, Aaron Burnett. You're a fucking dumb cunt. You guys, don't these people always get threats? Don't people in the Senate, don't senators, and aren't they always receiving threats and stuff? Do you think that maybe they're choosing when to tell you they're getting threats? Oh, we got some threats. As soon as Joe Biden became president-elect, we started getting some threats. All right, so you've never gotten threats before? I just want to know. Now, if that's true, that's cool. But maybe that's fake news. And they didn't go into it at all. You know, Aaron Burnett didn't press her on the issue and say, hey, have they gotten threats before, or is this the first time they've gotten threats? Or did they get threats last week, or have they gotten threats when Trump was running for president, or did they get threats back when Clinton, or whenever? Have they ever gotten threats before? Or is this the only time? You would think. Listen, I call AOC a cunt every day. I developed my own hashtag for it. You guys want to know it? Read between the lines. It's CAUONCT. And you say, read between the lines, folks. AOC, CUNT. Look at that. Look at that. It says count. It's count. Count. It's count. 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 Couonct. 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 It's so easy to say. Just say Kaoonkt. I mean, if I'm calling AOC, if I call Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, representative, senator, whatever the fuck she is, a cunt every fucking day. If I call Nancy Pelosi a cunt every day, I wonder what those they actually consider a threat to be. I mean, calling someone a cunt's not really a threat. But what are the actual threats? I'm just kind of wondering. What do they consider a threat? I'm just kind of curious. Aaron doesn't want to get into that though. You know what was said. Oh, she don't want to get into that. She don't want to talk about it. 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 She don't want to fucking talk about it. Psst. Nobody's trying to talk about that anymore, Val. One right here is for Costin, my friend. Shut up, you. You're very good. You're very good, yo. You sit down, yo. Shut up, yo. You're very good. Yo. You, my friend, you are very good. You're very good, yo. You are very good. Look, why are you making that so bright? You're making it so bright. What are you doing? What are you doing, pal? Nobody even does it like this anymore, pal. What are you taking the color out of it now, pal? Nobody's even doing that. Nobody's taking the color out of it anymore, pal. I hope you guys are able to see that. White on bright. Hey, look at this. Look at that. Shut up, yo. You're very good. Karsten, cheers. Orange bud. Really good smoke rings. Look, Nay's an elitist. He already had his vaccine and he's not telling us the truth. Unbelievable. Man, that orange bud tastes so goddamn good still. It's a year fucking old, Karsten. And it's retained its flavor. This orange bud has retained its flavor. It tastes like orange peels, man. A little bit of funky, but it always tasted a little funky. It's got that little funky orange peel thing going on. Hello? I got an important message for you. You're very good, you. Shut up. Sit down, you. You're no good. Shut up, you. It was a recorded message. There was nobody there. I was just being silly. Hey, look at this. You're very good, you people. You're very good, you people. I have a feeling there's more than 22 people watching the show. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that the digits are stuck on 22? Or that there's more than 22 people here? Because, look, this is going to be a fun show. I mean, if you spent the last 4 years just hoping that Donald Trump was going to get fired, then this is going to be a very fun show for you. You know, and if you were a Trump supporter all that time, you're probably going to have fun too, because you already know he lost. And there's going to be a lot of jokes, and there's going to be a lot of hilarity, and we're going to call a lot of people that we see on TV cunts. And it's always fun to call them cunts. I love calling the people on CNN cunts. Got another fucking mouse in my goddamn house. Just when I thought I got them out, they pull me back in. These fucking mice. And again, I'm in bed, asleep. It's fucking 5:30 a.m. I'm asleep, and I hear clunk, and I go, and the dog goes, and I'm like, that's right in front of my bed. I can see, you know? It sounded like the neighbor's dog was in my bedroom. I'm like, what the fuck? I turn the light on, and out trotting from under my TV set, Harley with a fucking mouse in his mouth. Holding it, looking at me. The mouse is just sitting there looking at me, and I'm like, really? So I get up, the cat goes out in the hallway, drops the mouse on the floor, the mouse runs down the hallway one way, cat chases him, then he runs towards me, then he runs towards one of the rooms, I close the door, then he runs back towards the cat, and then he runs into the fucking kitchen, and I'm sitting here like, why is this happening to me? Why don't I just call the fucking exterminator and get this fucking taken care of? You know? It's like, I don't want one of them little fuckers to die inside the goddamn wall and then start reeking. You know? I don't want a dead mouse somewhere in a wall somewhere. Hey, look at this. Hey, look who's still at 28 and look who's down. Hey, Biden is down. He's losing. Look at this. Hey, Donald Trump is winning. Shut up, you. You're very good. Yo, you know who's probably loving it? You know who's probably watching along right now? Robert De Niro is probably at home, very comfortable in a nice, I just picture him in a nice thick robe and some big fluffy socks with bunny rabbit ears on them, just chilling, having a bowl of cornflakes with Hershey's syrup all over the top of it. And he's just sitting there, and he's got a big old he's got a hat just like this on. It's black, and it says on the hat, literally says, bah humbug. And he's sitting there, and he's eating his cereal, and he's watching this. Oh, hey, look, somebody just pulled ahead. Hey, honey, come out here, look at this. Look at this. Hey, Trumpy's pulling ahead. Look at that. Hey, look. Oh, Trump, are you pulling ahead? You. You're so good, you. You're very good. You're winning. Hey, look, honey, look. Hey, kids, come out here. Look at this. Donald Trump is winning this. I imagine he is there right now. I should put my hat on. And if I could find a robe in this house, I'm sure they've all been taken out. But, bah humbug. Hi, Erica. Erica, would you like to watch Trump lose with us again? Would you like to stay and watch Trump lose with us? It's all happening. It's all happening right now.
Concern is any accidental loss of temperature control when shipping or storing the vaccine. Joined now by CNN's senior medical correspondent Elizabeth Cohen. So what other potential pitfalls could come up?
Hey, you know what? That's not my fucking problem. That's not my fucking problem. That's your fucking problem. And you know what? It sounds like you got a big fucking problem, and you better solve your fucking problem. I'm gonna stay up here on my fucking mountain and stay away from as many freaking people as I can. Shut up, you. You're very good. You're very good, yo. Yo, shut up. You're very good. Nay, who do you think should be president? I'm not talking about Trump or Biden. Who should be president of the United States? Damn, that's a good question. If I could pick any person to be president of the United States, who would it be? Do you know that the fucking face that is coming into my mind before anybody else is Lee Camp? Just right now, without putting too much thought into it, It's fucking Lee Camp is popping into my head. President of the United States. You know what? Or maybe who I think is his girlfriend, I think. Her last name is Goldstein. I always get her first name wrong. I always want to say, is it Emma? Or it's Evelyn? Or... Lee Camp's girl. Her. You know why? I'm trying to think of the most... I'll tell you who else. The Eleanor. Thank you, Karsten. Thank you. Eleanor Goldstein. The girl that used to be on Redacted Tonight, I think, with Lee Camp all the time. Really pretty brunette woman that's always talking about Syria and Israel and the Palestinians. And I can't think of her freaking name right now. She's really pretty. She's all over goddamn YouTube. She's always on podcasts. She does her own podcast with her brother, I think. Always did stuff with Lee Camp. I just can't think of her name. She's one of the most honest people I've ever listened to. It's really hard to find an honest role model type person who's honest about everything and understands, doesn't believe in shit like UFOs, and other rabbit holes. And, unfortunately, some of the people that I love, I disagree with them on things that I think are really important. Like someone might be a God person, And then I've got, there's so many things. Flag waver. Someone that served in the military and thought that war was the solution. At any point in their life, I don't know. Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me at all? I'm going to refresh the chat. I don't know what's going on, dude. It says 22 people. It said 22 people. Nobody's talking at all. Somebody asked me a great question. Who do you think would make a great president of the United States? I'm saying, and none of you guys... Okay, let me ask y'all. Who do you guys think would make a good president of the United States? Dave C. said yes. Oh, there's 42 people watching, and none of you were talking? Dude, were you guys talking at all? I'm glad I refreshed the chat. Michael Meyer, that's a great question. Was chat not working, guys? I was just sitting here watching a dead chat for literally 3 or 4 minutes while I talked about Lee Camp. Anybody get her name? The girl on Bernie Sanders and Noam Chomsky? No, I don't trust those guys. I don't trust them. I don't trust Bernie Sanders and I don't trust Noam Chomsky. I don't trust them. I don't trust Kyle Kalinske. I definitely don't trust David Pakman. The people that I watch, that I listen to, that pontificate, I see people who might become president, people like Tucker Carlson. And I think Tucker Carlson has a skewed perception of reality, man. And yet I could see people pushing him to become president of the United States. He's got a huge audience. And I'm out of freaking coffee. Unreal, nobody runs out of coffee anymore, Val. What are you doing? What are you doing to yourself? Oh, and looks like Donald Trump has moved ahead here. 35-7. Pathetic 7 points to Donald Trump's 35. Joe Rogan, I don't trust him. I don't trust Joe Rogan. He's a fucking rabbit holer, bro. He didn't think we landed on the moon for years. He couldn't even fucking figure that shit out. No, I got a problem with Joe Rogan, man. His fucking best friend is goddamn, one step away from him, Mr. fucking Eddie Bravo. Are you fucking kidding me? I wouldn't be able to handle Eddie for fucking an hour, let alone a lifetime of blah, 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 blah in your fucking ear. Oh my God, that guy's he's a pathetic joke. He's not a thinker. He's hilarious. But no, not Joe Rogan. Hard to find good people, isn't it, man? Warren Buffett. No. What about somebody like Eddie Vedder? What about a musician? You guys know, like someone who writes lyrics that you vibe with. Someone who writes lyrics and you're like, yeah, I totally agree with that. If John Lennon was still alive, he wrote Imagine. Someone who's rebellious towards the government in their music. Well, you can go look up their lyrics, Karsten. Anytime you want on, just Google them. Or listen to their songs, even better, on YouTube. You can hear every song. Every song is on YouTube, just about. Anything you want to hear. You guys hear a song from your childhood, a TV show theme, just a great song that you love. You can hear it all the time on YouTube. Maximus says what? Sonia says John Lennon. Carson says True Perfect. Do the Nancy Pelosi accent if she was president. We're going to take away your guns now. Everybody go outside in your homes. We're ripping up the Constitution. I am eating ice cream. Do you know what? Steph Zamorano does a fantastic impersonation of Nancy Pelosi. I highly recommend you watch the Jimmy Dore Show and you check out, and you know what? Super chat Steph for $2 and say, write her a script in quotes. Say, Steph, please recite this as Nancy Pelosi, and then give her a paragraph in quotes. And she will fucking do it, and you will laugh, because she sounds just like her, and she acts like she's drunk, and it's fucking hilarious. She does it dead fucking sniper accuracy, bro. I'm telling you. Oh, and Joe Biden takes the lead, or doesn't take the lead, but he jumps ahead. Fake news. I'm fake news. Sorry. And I am fake news.
Vice President of the United States. Each elector is now required to sign 6 copies of the certificate of vote, which will be distributed to the proper authorities. Secretary Harman, please.
We're the humans on Earth. There are several like Justin Amash, Dan Crenshaw, Tom Morello, The Rock. The Rock, really? He inspires you? Hell to the no on Nancy Pelosi. Jimmy Dore would be an amazing president. There's Jimmy Dore has said some things and has entertained some ideas
for a few moments while the necessary signatures are gathered
without investigating them thoroughly. I agree with Jimmy Dore on 99.9999999% of everything he fucking says. But there is one thing that he said where I'm like, President,
for Vice President Biden.
It was a UFOs thing.
Or I should say, I guess, President-elect Biden at this point. And
he was willing to entertain the footage from
from the Pentagon about the UFO, and Thunderfoot is all over YouTube. He's just he's that far away from Jimmy Dore to see that was all just a bird flying through the fucking sky. It really was just a bird. It's all explained, all the science of it, everything. I mean, Thunderfoot eviscerates that footage. And then talks about the guy talking about the Tic Tac. And Jimmy Dore was all over that shit. And I'm like, no, Jimmy, no, Jimmy, no. Ooh, we should have him on. No. Lex just did that. Oh my God, fucking, these guys will go on anybody's podcast to tell their story. These ex-pilots. Oh man, don't do it, man. Just don't go there, man. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh. You know, because an unidentified flying object in the shape of a YouTube that can hover over the goddamn ocean and vibrate and shoot around. They're just gonna sit there when a goddamn fighter jet is approaching it. Yeah, they're just gonna sit there and do their shit. They're not worried. They're gonna hang out. They're not gonna evade. They're not gonna see that fucking shit coming on whatever kind of radar they're supposedly using. I mean, just the basics are so silly. And then to listen to Thunderfoot go into the science behind it, and then you're like, oh yeah, then there's all of that too. That's kind of lengthy and it's really descriptive and he fucking destroys it. But if you've got the patience for Thunderfoot talking about the UFO stuff, you'll see, man. I told Jimmy and he ignores me. I sent him tweets and shit. I'm like, bro, here's the video. Here's Thunderfoot. Go check him out, man. You should have Thunderfoot on your show. Blah, 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 blah. Interview him. You know? Arn Ra would be the most honest president. Jake, did you see the interview that I did with Arn Ra where I offered him this and he declined it? I got a problem with that, man. I've got a problem with someone who claims to be a scientist that won't accept free evidence. I'm offering free evidence to a scientist to prove that THC oil makes your pain go away. Literally subdues psoriasis and does so much more. Yeah, I got a problem with Arn Ra over that. You know, Lee Camp accepted my oil. Lee Camp let me ship him oil. There you go. I don't think Arn Ra, I think I've got a problem with Arn Ra. Would he legalize cannabis? Mass Jake the Tur, would he legalize cannabis? Do you think Lee Camp would legalize cannabis? If you can rub this on a baby that just got stung by a wasp. Say you're out at a picnic and your kid's playing and he goes over to a pile of logs and he's looking for lizards and he pulls up a log and there's a hole in the ground and it's full of hornets. And the hornets come out of the ground and they start stinging your fucking 6-year-old. Should you be allowed to put this on those stings that's going to make that pain go away? You know, Arn Ra would say no, and Lee Camp would say yes. Billy calls Arn Ra a troll, an analog troll, an IRL troll. He's a troll that will literally get right up in your face and argue his points. That's what I love about him, bro. He is so confrontational. I love that. That's why I started watching his channel. I was like, oh my God, look at this guy. He doesn't do that anymore, you know, because of COVID and all that shit. But, oh, back in the day, man, he was the king of confrontation. And I've seen Thunderfoot do it too. You know, I've seen these guys get out in the street, get in people's faces and argue points and be like, you guys are fucking wrong. And they're not scared to, you know, say it. Nick Barbero. I love your name, Nick Barbero. I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well as well. Nick Barbero. That's an easy name to say. Nick. I like names that are just easy for me to pronounce, and I think I'm saying your name right. Now watch it be Barbero. Is your name Nick Barbero? Is it Barbero or is it Barbaro? Because if it's Barbaro, I apologize, Nick Barbaro. But if it's Barbero, it's like Nicky Barbero. Why? It's freaking Nicky Barbero. Hey, Anthony, he's a big boy. He can speak for himself. What were you saying, Nicky? You were saying I was funny? Funny how? What, like the way I dress? What? What, like I'm here to amuse you? Like the way I talk? What's funny? The way I talk is funny. You like the way I talk? Is that funny? It's the second one. Barbaro. I was wrong. It's Nick Barbaro. See, I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute. There is another way to say that. Because I had a friend whose last name was very similar to yours, but it was pronounced the first way that I pronounced your name. And I'll just leave it at that. Good friends. Really good friends. Gave me 5 years of probation and 15 months in prison for 30 milliliters of oil. Sonia, you were in prison for 15 months? Oh my God. Oh, that's horrible. Prison for 15 months? You were in a Slovenian prison for 15 months? For cannabis oil? Oh my goodness. No one even tries the second time? Barbaro. I'm going to the Barbaro. Oh, hey, Nick Barbaro and I, we're going to the Barbaro. Oh, shut up, yo. You're very good. Yo, sit down. What are we doing? We're smoking the orange bud for the people that are dropping the digits. What's a freaking digit for? It's either a 3 or a 7, people. The 3 means that you shared this live stream on 2 forms, sources, or sorts of social media. Take your pick. The 7 means that you went over to Twitter, which could be one of the 2 that you shared on, and you shared to as many @ people as you could until you ran out of characters, like @Nays Garden, I like to just name the people that I'm always tweeting at Miserable Lib, Graham Elwood, Ron Placone, Lee Camp, Tim Pool, Tim Black, and just start naming people or start typing letters in and they'll come right up. And the blue checks are the best to tweet at because they've got the most following, Tweet as many blue checks as you can. When you see those blue checks after their name. Then come back here and give me a 7 or a 3 and let me know what you did by hitting the 3 or the 7. And I will indulge by doing a bong rip in your honor, and I will do it in a special way for you. Somehow a special way. You didn't think that Jimmy'd believe in UFOs? You know what? There's absolutely no solid evidence or proof that exists whatsoever that we've ever been visited by aliens. There's absolutely nothing. If somebody produced something that was believable evidence, I would fucking believe it. If there was something that was believable. Just like, hey man, if somebody produced believable evidence that God existed, I would fucking believe it. I would be like, well, son of a bitch. Well, fuck me. I would. I believe shit that people can prove to me. And the craziest thing is, if you produced evidence of God, I would. But Karsten, did I not smoke for you? No, I smoked the orange bud for you already. But thank you for doing it again, my friend. You're very good. This one is for Nicky Barbaro. Shut up, yo. Oh, Anthony, he's a big boy. He can speak for himself. They fuck you at the drive-thru. They're gonna fuck you at the drive-thru. Every time. They're gonna fuck you at the drive-thru. Nick, this is for you. Cheers. I will do some special smoke rings of this orange, but in your honor, they're very thick and they're very visible. Yeah, Bob Lazar's story is a complete fucking lie. You know, Bob Lazar is a fucking liar, Michael Meyer. Huh? Bob Lazar's a liar, Michael Meyer. You can see that, right? Bro, go watch Thunderfoot. It's not crazy, it's just stupid. His story is fucking stupid. Yeah, show me the fucking evidence that Thunderfoot's not going to just destroy with science like he always does. Hey, at least I didn't call you a liar, Michael Meyer. There's so many places we could go with that last name, though. I love it. All right, cheers. Always a pleasure to be in the garden. Vuda, thank you. Science is bullshit, says Alex Sanchez. Yeah. Science is bullshit, Alex says as he watches the show from his fucking smart device. I love it. Science is bullshit. You're not even a good liar. Thanks, bro. Alex says science is bullshit. Vuda. Okay, Harry, always a pleasure to be in the garden. I've got shit my whole life. Proof or evidence would convince me as well, says Damon Faulkner. Sonia puts the alien with the heart up. Hardly says Mike Orange Bud. That was the first strain I ever bought from a coffee shop, says Dan Mercer. Bob Lazar's story is pretty cool. Okay, here comes the show. Oh, and Donald Trump takes a long lead with 56. Let's keep going here and find out what we have to see. And we're going to see Donald Trump coming up ahead with 56. We've got Joe Biden with 27. Let's see where we're at here with CNN.
President and 6 votes for Kamala D. Harris for Vice President.
Thank you. Electors, please sign 7 copies of
Hey, Nay.
the original.
I'm not the only one that doesn't believe Bob. Bro, Ben. If you go on YouTube and you follow Thunderfoot with 2 zeros, there's millions of people who've watched Thunderfoot destroy Bob Lazar. You're not the only one, man. You don't ever have to feel alone again with people that believe in science. Check out Thunderfoot with 2 zeros. I can't believe I'm having to tell Ben this. Do you think that in the whole universe we are the only intelligent beings of our level, or do you think they are out there but simply have no way to come over to our solar system or even know about us? Dude, the goddamn universe is so big, I would find it hard to believe that it's not prevalent all over the place. But this is the way I always describe it. You know, the way I see, if there is other life out there, if there's UFOs out there and things flying around and, you know, they have that ability, okay? This is the way I figure it, okay? And I gotta kind of step back to do it. But, okay, let's say that if there was, you know, let's just say they're the closest life that could, you know, impress us with their technology, you know, is right here. Okay? In not say the galaxy, I'm not saying it's here in the galaxy, but in the universe, in another galaxy, I would think that there's other life somewhere. And let's say they're there. And let's say that Earth is over here. Okay. Now, let's say that these guys' technology is so incredible that they can travel all the way from here to here. They could make it this far, and they've made it that far. And with all their amazing technology, they can see out into their galaxy, and maybe outside, I'm sure, definitely outside of their galaxy, they can see, let's say, this far. That's, and just make a circle, however you would do it, you know, around, right? A circle around that point. That's how far they can see. And over here, we can travel this far. And we can see this far. We're never going to find each other. That's what I figure. They've got the ability to travel so far, and we've got the ability to travel so far. We're nowhere near each other, and if there is alien life out there, it's never been here before. It's never made it here before. Not in the short time that this planet has even been in existence. It's only been around for, you know, how many, what is it, 4 billion years or something that Earth has even been in existence? Okay, Google. How old is the planet Earth?
The age of Earth is 4,543,000,000 years.
Look, so they had that much time, guys. They had that much time to find Earth. Okay, 4.5 billion years. I don't think there was enough time for anyone to develop the technology to travel or see that far away. And, you know, if they have developed in other places, and I'm really sure that they, bro, listen, let me give you a couple of concepts that I believe in, all right? Number one, the universe has always been here. Okay, not the galaxy. You know, the galaxy is definitely the result of a fucking explosion. In fact, every fucking galaxy looks like some kind of an explosion when you look at them. And if you're familiar with explosions, and if you've seen enough of them, real explosions, and I have, and you have too, you've seen plenty of them. You think about it, right when those explosions happen, right when they happen, you see a little pattern. Sometimes you see a ring. Sometimes you see things that look just like things that you've seen through telescopes that look like other galaxies. They're all explosions, aren't they? One giant fucking explosion going on in very, 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 very slow motion. Everything is fucking exploding, but it's going so slow. Now, I'm not saying that the entire universe is the result of an explosion, but from what we can see and our little tiny ability that we could see the entire universe, and we can only see into it from here to, let's say, Sirius, you know, or whatever the biggest goddamn thing is that we can see. It's right here. Well, you don't think there's anything on the other side of Sirius? Think about it. Here's the concept. The universe has always been here. The universe will always be here. That's the concept. That's what I believe. That's number one. I believe humans built them trying to signal what they thought could be alien. Ben, you got it right. Of course. You nailed it. Everything's explainable, man. You know, it's everything that on this planet has been explainable. If the planet is only 4.5 billion years old, it's really not enough time for aliens to have fucking got here to do anything to it. It's not a lot of time in the grand scheme of things that it would take a race to develop to the point where they could really travel around. And let me tell you something, man. If that kind of technology existed, I think they would visit here. You know, if you could get somewhere and you could be like, hey, man, these people, they're going to be extinct. They're looking at Earth and they're like, humans are going to be extinct in just a few years, man. Look at these poor people. We've got the technology to save them. Let's go there and pop over there. We'll drop the technology off, make sure we don't get our asses killed, and let them save themselves. Don't you think they would have done it already? Or do you really believe that there's evil government people who've already had these conversations with these aliens and they're not letting anybody know? Because the aliens chose to only talk to the government, the lead. Take me to your leader. You know, that's what an alien race is going to do. They're going to say, yeah, you know, we're so fucking advanced and intelligent that we know that we should only give this technology to the leader of the planet, not the people. You'd think the aliens would have figured that out if they had figured out how to even fucking get here? Come on, man. It's just so this. It's all this, man. I'm no scientist, and I don't claim to be. This is just what I believe. Even if another life form is 10,000 years ahead of us, they wouldn't be that long in the big picture. No, I don't think, bro, if we made it another 10,000 years, which we're not going to do, and I'm sad to say, I don't really see the human being here in 10,000 years. But I don't even see him in, 100 years and without resources on the planet. Unless we invent some sort of resource. I would think that mankind right now would be thinking about putting rice fields everywhere. We're going to need to figure out how to feed all of these people. We better, I think rice requires a shit ton of water, right? Okay, Google. Does the rice crop require a lot of water?
According to Claro Energy, traditional farming needs 3,000 to 5,000 liters of water to produce a kilo of rice.
Oh my god, bro, what? Oh my god, it's even worse than I thought. Dude, we're fucked. I want to cry, man. It just overcame me because I know that water is going. We're losing water. Oh, it's so sad, man. Oh. Wow. You think aliens are going to give interstellar travel secrets to every swinging dick on Earth? I wouldn't. Alex, I didn't say interstellar travel secrets, Alex. I said, if you're talking to me, I said how to save our own race from extinction. We're running out of resources on the planet. I don't know if you're paying attention. Yeah, but we're always thinking that aliens have advanced to the point that they're not conquering, that they're a good alien races out there, right? I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. There could be wars going on all around us. You know, there could you imagine that? Here's Earth, and we can see this far, and then there's a war here, there's a war here, there's a war here, there's a giant war going on, like Star Wars type shit. You know, there's war here, there's a fucking war here, there's all kinds of wars between alien races here, and there's fucking wars over here, and we're just sitting here all peaceful and shit. Don't even realize how horrible it is, what's going on. Like, could you imagine? Alfalfa uses a lot of water. I love alfalfa sprouts. Alfalfa sprouts. So watery and crunchy. Alfalfa is number 1 for water usage. Rice is number 2. Rice is the most water-intensive crop in California. Because it requires fields to be flooded in order to grow. While the water usage isn't ideal, rice is a great crop for growing on soil that won't support other less resilient plants that require more drainage. Out of all the California crops that use the most water, rice is one of the least profitable, generating just $374 per acre foot of water. This figure is in stark contrast to thirsty crops such as almonds or pistachios that also demand substantial amounts of water, but do generate around $1,200 per acre foot of water. Almonds are one of the more controversial California crops because they demand year-round watering, and that water amounts to roughly 10% of the California's total water consumption, but they're quite profitable. Plus, to being a popular snack item, almonds are used to make other food products such as almond butter, almond milk, which I use, and they're also used in many beauty products, which I use as well. When evaluating the California crops that use the most water, it's important to consider the overall value of the crops. Grazing fields like pastures. What was number 3? Oh, 3 was almonds. Pastures is 4. Vineyards is 5. Cotton is 6. I wonder if hemp is on here. Okay, Google. How much water does hemp require?
According to Hemp Basics, hemp requires at least 20 to 30 inches of rainfall during the growing period, and irrigation is necessary if precipitation is less than adequate. Abundant moisture is needed during the germination period.
Twenty to 30 inches. Hempgradeseed.com. Still, it's 36 to 56. Trump is in the lead. What's the race to 270 at Nay's Garden? I hope you guys are having fun watching these numbers come in, man. I gotta tell you, I just want to sit here all day with you guys and watch this shit go down, man. Every chance I get to watch Trump lose, it makes me happy. I want to watch him lose over and over and over again. Call me a bad person if it makes you feel bad. It's just how I feel. I want to watch this man lose. We're offline. What? No, I don't want to fuck that. What is this? Fuck you. Could farming hemp save water? Hemp is water wise. University of Arizona. I want to find out how hemp as a crop does with water usage. I know nothing about it. But I want to learn. I want to learn about growing hemp. I think that's important. Could farming hemp save water? They're talking about water levels in Arizona right now and why Arizona is a good place to plant crops. But I don't want to read it out loud. I don't want to tax out my voice. God, some farms have reported revenue of $90,000 per acre for hemp used to manufacture CBD oils. You guys, if you're interested in learning about growing hemp, press number 1 right now on this live stream. Holy shit. Compare that to $600 an acre for alfalfa, $700 per acre of corn. Even high water use almonds only produce $5,000 per acre. Yeah, you guys are interested in this? All right, this article is from Arizona Wet. ArizonaWet.arizona.edu. It's the Arizona Project Wet. Could farming hemp save water? This was printed back in 2018, and oh my God, it's full of information about growing hemp. It's a simple crop to grow, has an abundance of uses. Some sources report 25,000 different products can be created from the plant. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. That's unbelievable. 25,000. The 2016 U.S. market for hemp products was estimated at $688 million, which included foods, textiles, supplements, industrial applications, personal care products, as well as CBD oils. And let me tell you something. I saw a video on YouTube the other day of this guy using hemp-based products, and he was talking about how fucking fantastic they were. It can be planted as a row crop, tolerates wide variety of soils and temperatures, requires no pesticides, and grows extremely fast, soaring to as much as 20 feet in 100 days. Even better, its rapid growth may allow up to 4 cuttings per year, which could maximize crop yields. Dude, I'm sharing this shit on Twitter right now. Oh my fucking God. You guys can all have access to this right now. I'm putting it on my Twitter. I'm going to send it to Lee Camp. I'm going to send it to Ronnie. I'm going to send it to Graham. I'm going to send it to Miserable Lib. Always send to Miserable Lib, guys. I think that's good. Jesus fucking Christ. And let me tell you something, guys. When we're in we're in such an issue right now with water, we could turn hemp into food. We could all be eating hemp. It's high in protein. It's really healthy, and it can be turned into food. The hemp seed, they can do all kinds of things with it, man. You never know if we start experimenting with it. You know, there's this son of a bitch that works for High Times magazine. He writes for them sometimes. He said, you know, I'll believe cannabis can cure cancer when you can make a cheeseburger out of it. And son of a bitch, if we probably can, if we just do enough goddamn with what we can do today. I wouldn't be surprised if you put science behind it, you could fucking do anything. You could build homes with it, you could drive it, you could fuel the car that you fucking built every fucking thing on the car with out of hemp. It's fucking crazy, right? I'm really excited about this. I think I need to just shut up and calm down. Hemp is one of the most drought-tolerant crops on the planet. Dude, what are we doing, guys? What are we doing? It's all right here, man. What are we doing? Send this to people on Twitter. Send that article. Get on your Twitter's guide. Guys, gals, send it out there. Send this out there. Can you 3D print hemp? I wouldn't be surprised, Alex. I wouldn't be surprised if you could use hemp for 3D printing. Okay, Google. Can you use hemp for 3D printing?
BioVoices. Hemp can be transformed in filament to be used for 3D printing. Biodegradable, recyclable, and free from toxins, it can replace petroleum-based plastics.
Where did you read that from? Oh, here we go. I'm going to put that photograph up on my Twitter, and I want you guys to retweet all of this stuff to as many people as you can. Field. Thunderfoot's name never comes up. Alex Sanchez, you are blocked from my live stream. Goodbye. Yes, Karsten, he is blocked. you know, people need to understand when you're talking to someone in a chat, there sometimes there could be a little bit of a communication discrepancy because you don't know who you're talking to. As it would happen, English is Karsten's second. You with somebody on the internet and you don't realize who you're talking to or what's being said or why they might be saying what they're saying or why something might be misconstrued. You know, maybe take a step back and take a deep breath and maybe ask before you make a total ass out of yourself on somebody's podcast. I understand, Karsten. I'm sorry that you had to deal with that. There's only one harvest of cannabis per year. Now the people, when I first came out to California, man, they were harvesting 3 times a year. You know, it's just that the value's gone down. People don't do it like they used to, man. You know? But man, people used to slam. I would see people with multiple greenhouses that you black out, and you could do it anytime you want. You could have fucking crops coming up every month, man. You know, running it like that. They're talking about indoor grow houses growing hemp. Somebody converted their tobacco farm in Kentucky to hemp indoors. They're watering smart by using drip tape running beneath plastic mulching to keep their plants healthy. Huh. Conserve precious water resources while maximizing profits. It's win-win opportunity for us all. It says at the end of this fucking article. And then it gives references. It'd be so funny if the Emperor Wears No Clothes was one of the references. Dude, there's a whole bunch of references here. Wow! 15 nice references, guys, at the end of this article. And none of them are the Emperor Wears No Clothes, but still, man, there's all kinds of information out there for you guys to check out. Every single one of them is linked. They've all got links, man. They've all got links. That's fucking great. Where are we at? 56:36? All right, let's make sure we're all caught up on the chat here. Fuck Netflix. Mask Jake the Tur. Fucking kid flicks. Fuck that pedophile fucking pedophile loving fucking supporting bunch of cunts over there. Cunt flicks. Right on, Chris. You're gonna have to start eating cactus. Yeah, you guys want to learn about hemp? That's when that was. It's unbelievable. Advice for anyone that makes edibles, chocolates, recipes. Yeah, it sounds good. Human race killing itself, denying hemp. You can make bread with the hemp seeds. Can hemp make my pee-pee larger? Good one, that's right. That was a good one. Would you block this guy? It's amazing what all hemp can do and make. Nick Brown. Michael Meyer. I mean, I don't see how you can't make a cheeseburger with it. Burger King did it with a bunch. That's what I was saying, Michael, right? How funny would it be if we made a fucking awesome bacon, everything on it, onion. It's all made from hemp. And give that to that son of a fuck nut over there at High Times and tell him to suck Nay's cock. Plants don't yield as much doing that, right? Opposed to doing as long grow, you will get more weight. By the way, love you, buddy. Karsten, fact. Get the fuck out of here, Alex, you noob ass bitch. Enoch, what's up, son? Hemp toilet paper, hemp cat litter, hemp fuel, hemp you can build houses with. Which account has the article, Nay? Nay's Garden, at Nay's Garden on Twitter. I hope. Right? I hope that's what I'm posting on. Yes. In filament to be used for 3D printing. We could get Graham Elwood and Ron Placone to talk about this, you know, on their shows. We need to conserve water. That's what it all comes down to, conserving water. You know? Ganji says cannabis. Hey Ganji, thank you. Damon. Tweeted the live from Nasgard. Damon Faulkner, thank you. Cody Stockton. Hey man, I got COVID. Oh, Cody, man, get well soon. I hope you're doing okay. Are you showing signs of it, or are you asymptomatic? Darlene, hello, my friend. I love all the guitars in the back. Really awesome. I don't remember them on the wall. Hey, Darlene. Love Chance. Fuck Netflix. It just has so many benefits, says Carson. James Miguel, hey, Nay. S. Franco's lolling at his own joke. Rumors flying that President Donald Trump will pardon Julian Assange. Snowden weighs in. Yeah, it might happen, guys. It might happen. So, you know, keep hope alive, guys. You guys that they kept those things up of Julian Assange, thank you for doing that. It really makes a difference. Do you want to know who Joey Diaz thinks should got president? Yeah, that's why we watch. Pardon, really, that would be great. Found it. Thank you. Damon Faulkner. Yeah, I read this too. Good morning. Joseph, Karsten. I'm sorry, Cody. Yeah, boy. Growing on by the pound. I'm finally yield a few pounds using these guys. It made me tear to see someone love. It's not MJ, ya boy. It's not MJ. Hey, ya boy, you don't say fucking MJ anymore. You call it cannabis, all right? You don't use a goddamn racist term. Don't use initials for a fucking racist term. Okay? Jesus fucking Christ, bro. You're not calling it cannabis yet? Come on, man. Enoch. Yeah, Karsten, fuck those snowflakes, son. Yeah, I'm all caught up on the chat. Cool. cannabis. Sorry. That's okay. M fucking J. I got your fucking MJ right here. What the fuck were you thinking? What the fuck were you thinking when you put that in my goddamn chat? Holy shit. Fucking hidden code and shit. Joseph, thank you for the like. Joseph, thank you for the retweet. It's only Joseph, guys. He's the only one that liked and retweeted. It's under my tweets and replies. You got to go to my Twitter account and go to tweets and replies, guys, if you want to see that. Hey, Dan. Spider-Man's girlfriend says Damon. People in Chicago call it everything. Cannabis, right? People everywhere call it all kinds of bad names, bro. Do you know that the United States federal government refers to it as marijuana, which is a racist term that was invented by William Randolph Hearst, the guy who got it banned? And because it sounded Latin. It sounded Mexican. It sounded foreign. You know? The name already was cannabis. It's the original name. So in order for you guys to find this, you have to go to my Twitter feed and you have to click on tweets and replies. And then you'll see that there's literally a picture there. And I want you guys to retweet that. Oh, now it says 3 and 4. Hey, you guys, make that say more than 3 and 4 right now. It's that picture right there. See the picture? It says hemp can be transformed in filament to be used for 3D printing, biodegradable. I need you guys to retweet that a whole bunch of times. Retweet it at Snoop Dogg. Retweet it at Be Real. Right? Retweet it at everyone you know on Twitter. Retweet it at Donald Trump. Retweet it at Joe Biden. Retweet it at anybody that you can fucking think of. Go crazy, man. I got Karsten retweeted it. Thank you, Karsten. Quote tweet. Nothing to see here yet. Yeah, they haven't loaded them yet. Don't think of it being until you just told me, wow, that's messed up to change a name due to others' race. Why do people have to put negative labels on positives? Oh, your boy, there's a whole story behind it. William Randolph Hearst, the guy who did it, he owned a newspaper company. The newspaper company relied on his forests and his trees and his paper mills. And he grew these trees, he would cut them down, and he would mill them, and then he would make all this newspaper, and he would send out his newspaper. He was the first, mass media in the United States. It was William Randolph Hearst. He owned these newspapers. And when hemp in the late 1800s they started to figure out how to strip it down and process it quicker and more efficiently, it started to threaten his company, which was paper. So instead of just switching over, and what's so funny about this story is it directly relates to fuel. Why do I use profanity? Because I'm a very passionate person, and profanity is one of the only ways that I've found that I can express my feelings. Thanks for asking. Yeah, it's a good question. The English language isn't explicit enough for me. Maybe I should learn another language to use terminology that I require to tell you how I really feel. So I curse. I have to curse a lot. So he demonized cannabis, which was being used medically by doctors all over the United States already. He demonized it in his newspapers. He made movies, he put up posters, he wrote books, everything, man. Everything that they could possibly do to make cannabis look bad. He changed the name to marijuana. He made up the word marijuana. He changed the name of cannabis to marijuana, and he says marijuana is getting into the United States like a disease, and it's causing kids to axe murder their families. And he wrote these articles in his newspaper, and he sent them all over the place. He said that blacks and Mexicans were coming into the United States, they were high on this marijuana drug, and that they were raping white women. And he promoted this, and he pushed it down America's throats. And he used the word marijuana to do it. So every time, and other words too, like weed.
Another ruling in a case involving a Trump campaign challenge to the presidential election. CNN's
information on Wolf Blitzer. Thank you, Karsten. Hey, Daniel. I got 28,000 tweets, guys. We've lost the feed to Wolf Blitzer. You're fired. He's fired. Well, not yet. He's still hanging on by a thread, man, you know. They're still reporting in. He's still hanging on by a thread. He's ahead right now. Hey, and the polls are very high. If you look at the polls, they're very high. The polls are good. We're doing, the economy is great. I've got jobs. Bigly, jobs. You're fired. Excuse me. We're doing very good. Excuse me. Jobs. We're doing very good. Mexico, they're sending their worst. They're bringing drugs. They're sending rapists. I'm sure some of them are very fine people, though. Tweets and replies and all my tweets. You guys, the one underneath it has no retweets. You guys, the one underneath it has no retweets and no likes yet. Come on. It's the one to Lee Camp and Ron Placone, and it says Arizona. It's an article about hemp. It's the whole article. I tweeted them the whole article, guys. That's so important. You guys totally missed that. Let me go back to my tweets here. Oh my God. Make sure you guys find that. Yeah. It says at Lee Camp. Okay, find my Marijuana Madness. Cheers, smoking on some ice cream bomb. Chris Bartlebow. Marijuana Madness. Reefer Madness. Reefer Madness. Right? Joseph liked my tweet. Thank you, Joseph, for liking my tweet. Hey, thank you, Joseph. You're liking my tweet. I appreciate you, pal. You're very good now. Hey, look at us. Joseph liked my tweet. Joseph retweeted my tweet. Enoch liked my tweet. There you go. Come on, keep going. Keep going. Hey, Jeffrey, what's up, son? I'm watching people like my tweet. Come on, guys. It's the tweet. It says at Lee Camp. And retweet it at Lee Camp. Retweet it at Ron Placone. Retweet it at Graham Elwood. Retweet it at Miserable Liberal. Retweet it at Snoop Dogg. Retweet it at Be Real. Retweet it at Ice Cube. They're easy to find, guys. Just say at and type their name in. They'll come right up. There'll be a blue check next to their name. Come on, guys. Retweet it at Ben Shapiro. Retweet it at Jimmy Dore. Retweet it at Kyle Klinsky. Retweet it at David Pakman. Retweet it at Tim Pool. Retweet it at Tim Black. Retweet it at Arn Ra. Retweet it at Thunderfoot. Retweet it at Atheist Experience. Retweet it at Frankie McDonald. Retweet it at Frankie McDonald. Frankie McDonald, here's his hand right here. He's waving at you. Hey, Frankie McDonald here. My own YouTube station retweeted at me. Thank you. There you go. He's playing guitar now. Oh, I guess I should hit the play button, huh? Psst, unreal. Nobody doesn't hit the play button anymore, pal. What are you doing? What are you doing? Not hitting the play button anymore? Psh, Nobody's even not doing that anymore, pal. You wonder where the word reefer came from? It came from fucking douchebag. It came from William Randolph Hearst. Reefer madness. You know, they were the ones that started all these stupid fucking words. And popularized them. Hey, Enoch, there you go, buddy. That's what you do. You retweeted it, Joey Diaz, Mad Flavor. Put it up there. You gotta put it up there. You gotta tweet it at Mad Flavor. Getting Dug with High. Be Real, man. Tommy Chong. Afro Man. I don't know who that is, but thank you, man. You know, retweeted at The Was Law. Retweeted at our friends at The Was Law. Retweeted everyone that I've ever interviewed on my show. Like Ballantyne Collection. Retweeted at Billy Ballantyne. Everybody retweeted at Billy Ballantyne. Everybody retweeted at Rob Mulligan III. Everyone retweeted at yeah, the term marijuana came from him. All that shit came from him, bro. It's all from his newspapers, man. You gotta check out the book, man. It's all in the book. The Emperor Wears No Clothes. It explains it all.
Needs to be focused on the actual fact that
Hey,
we see it
Biden
right
is
before our
soon
eyes. It's
closing
not
the
pretty.
lead, 52-56. Look at this. Hey, oh, look at this. Oh, hey, oh, look. Take a look. Christopher Bartlebow liked my tweet. Daniel Padilla liked my tweet.
It's rather boring.
Fuck
and
yeah.
How the sausage is made is
Have small sausage hors d'oeuvres here in the Senate and appreciate them. Thank you with the small cheeses and sausages. The summer sausages are our favorite. We appreciate the summer sausages that you sent us.
democracy works, and right now there should be no question about the integrity of the outcome of these elections.
Outcome. You guys get crazy. Retweet all my tweets, man. Dude, look at my tweet. It says, I just love these idiots thinking their tweets have power.
And you've seen it, of course, in state after
Take
state,
it to
Republican,
Pelosi or shut the
Democratic,
fuck
from
up.
Georgia,
You guys
Canada,
retweet that one, man. Retweet all my shit. Come on, man. Hit it all, man. But bam, go right down the line. That's a great fucking tweet.
Recently, right, with Republican
Fucking hit every single one of my tweets. Retweet every single one, man.
Well, but
Daniel
it's
Padilla.
shameful.
Thank
In
you, Daniel
Georgia,
Padilla.
Also, we have these threats against the electors, but in Georgia,
Daniel
have
Padilla.
co-workers
You
who
know
are
it. I ship
actually
everywhere.
being
Thank you,
threatened.
Daniel
People who
Padilla.
have been trying to, again, as we've all been saying,
Retweet on
do
the
their
Daniel
civic
Padilla.
duty,
Thank you.
Trying to volunteer to be part of the process. And while I think on the one hand, absolutely,
Daniel
this is a
Padilla,
triumph
Lee-
of our
at Lee
democracy,
Camp, at Ron
let's be
Placone. That's
clear
the
about what
tweet.
Donald Trump is asking people to do. Donald Trump is asking to undermine our very democracy.
Yeah, we know. Shut up. We don't care. We don't fucking care. Nick Brown liked my tweet. Nick Brown liked my tweet. Nick Brown liked my tweet live. Watch Trump lose again. This show. Thank you. I love it. Harry Ass. Sorry for the spelling. Jeffrey. Anslinger, yeah. Dude, I have a tweet that says Anna Kasparian is pure. Oh, Joe Biden takes the lead, 59-56. It's the first time all show. How long into the show are we? 2 hours in, man. I've hung out with you guys for 2 hours, and Joe Biden is finally taking the lead. There you go. I spotted that for you guys. I have a tweet. It says, Anna is pure scum. Flung turds. And you guys Retweet that shit, man. I've got great tweets, man. All of my tweets are fantastic. I write great shit. Just go down the line, man. You get 100 retweets every day, man. You could retweet 100 of my tweets. Then force a damn vote, Barbara. Fucking love it. No plan. You are a joke. Joseph just liked that tweet. Thank you. Oh, he retweeted it. Joseph, thank you. That's right. I love it. It's on my phone app. It's literally showing me when you guys like or comment. It pops up. I get a notification. I fucking love it. DC liked my tweet. I just love these idiots thinking, thank you. DC, I just love these idiots. Retweeted my tweet. Thank you. Anna is pure scum. Flung turds. Joseph, thank you. DC liked my tweet. 300K US. Yes. Joseph, Anna's pure scum. Flung turds. Yes. DC retweeted my tweet. 300,000 US COVID deaths. What a great leader Trump is. I remember that one. Watch Trump lose again. DC, thank you. DC live watching Trump lose again. Oh, yes. I love it. We're 2 hours into the show, man. Oh, and Biden has finally pulled ahead. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for staying here and watching the show. I really appreciate it. Someone... What's this count you have in the corner? Electoral count going on in Congress? Yeah, Jeffrey. This tweet was great. Someone wrote, it wasn't me, it was someone named Blue Check Beth. Her @ is @Torstrick. Whatever that means. Jimmy Dore said something I disagreed with in 2016, which I intend to cite as the chief piece of evidence in my forthcoming argument for why poor people shouldn't have health care. It's a fucking great tweet. I said, wins Twitter. I retweeted Steph Zamorano, and you guys can retweet Steph Zamorano too. Is it me, or have you noticed that when you ask for Medicare for all, the crazies come out of the woodwork? You know? Retweeting to see who blocked me. That's one of my retweets. I found out who blocked me. Somebody named Beth, actually. 59 to 56. Here, we got some action going on here.
Moments ago, New York State cast its electoral college ballots. Watch this.
Watch this.
Yes, Mr. President.
Please go ahead.
Mr. President, I'm proud to announce that 29 votes have been cast for the Honorable Joseph Robinette Biden, Jr. of Delaware for President of the United States.
80. Wow, it flipped right when he said it. That's pretty fucking cool.
Carl Hastings, the New York State Assembly Speaker, making
God,
the
Donald
announcement.
Trump.
Also, just a moment or so ago in Pennsylvania,
I'll bet you he's not even watching this right now.
Ballots.
I'll bet you he's not even watching this. He's doing something else. He's ignoring this. He's probably doing a rally right now.
Thank you, Madam President.
Here, let's ask
It is my pleasure
Google.
to announce to you and to the members of the college that the tellers agree in their count. The electors of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania have cast 20 votes for the Honorable Joseph R. Biden for President of the United States and 20 votes for the Honorable Kamala D. Harris for Vice President of the United States.
Wow, there it flips. 108. As soon as I blinked my eyes and it fucking flipped.
20 for Biden from the
I
Commonwealth of
blinked my
Pennsylvania,
eyes.
29 from the state of New York. Jake, it's
So
moving
funny.
along fully as anticipated. No surprises yet. They're getting towards the end later today.
That's right, and there was a big effort by the Trump team to overturn the results in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, of state. Or
That's
Commonwealth
right.
that
That's right.
Trump
Talk about
won
that.
in 2016.
Let's talk about that.
Was not able to win. This
No
time.
flags,
He lost
Jeffrey,
by
no
somewhere
flags.
around 88, something like that, 1,000 votes, and a big effort by the legal team there to do everything they could.
We don't
before
like
election
flags.
Day, on election day, after election day, to disenfranchise Pennsylvanians, including that Texas Attorney General lawsuit that the U.S. Supreme Court just brushed aside like a gnat, it's called for
brushed aside like
the
a gnat.
20 electors from Pennsylvania for all the voters who voted for Biden to be disenfranchised, and those 20 electors to be replaced with 20 electors that would vote for somebody that the Commonwealth of
Billy,
Pennsylvania did not pick.
That's all right,
Donald
Jeffrey.
Trump.
That's right. And Pennsylvania, like so many states, the president's attempts to disrupt and overturn what we are seeing as a free and fair election were stopped at the state level in the courthouse.
Blinky!
And at the federal level in courthouses.
She blinks a lot.
Even by people he appointed to the federal bench, saying, no, we're not even going to hear this. We're not even going to acknowledge this. And in some cases, like one of the cases in Pennsylvania on the federal level, the president and his team were admonished by a judge who was appointed by this president for interfering and for not really giving any evidence.
No evidence.
At all.
No evidence.
For the case that they brought against
no
him.
evidence of mass voter fraud.
Dozens of times. And they don't present evidence. They say something on Twitter.
Little
but then
tiny
in
things
court,
here and
where
there,
they
but no
are under
mass
penalty of
voter
perjury,
fraud evidence.
They have no evidence. While this is all going on, this momentous moment in presidential history,
yes,
there is a momentous sight today, as the first Americans outside of clinical trials are receiving the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine. That's Brandon Seaman, Chief Medical Correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Yeah, we don't want to hear about the fucking virus, goddamn. Do we? We don't want to hear about that right now. Vaccines. Yeah, great. They're doing vaccines. Great. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about that. So, Tim Pool is such a fucking idiot. You know, the word admit means to confess to be true. So if I say, this is my dog, then I just admitted that that's my dog. If I say Exxon Mobil and BP pollute and don't pay for the damages that they cause, I would be admitting those facts, not as a representative of them. And the fact that I don't work for those companies doesn't mean that I can't recite the facts that pertain to them. But Tim Pool seems to be confused about it. He put up a tweet with his little Pampers got in a wad, right? He says, I love this. This is Tim Pool, by the way, that says this. And you guys should all follow Timcast on Twitter and let him know I sent you. You should also follow his show on YouTube. He's got a great podcast. Anyway, Tim Pool admits, he says, I'm not admitting anything. I don't work for Google. I'm exposing these pricks. Do you understand that I just exposed ExxonMobil and BP? I don't work for them, but I know that what the word admit means. It means I'm just saying that something is true. So when someone wrote an article about Tim, and the article said, Tim Pool admits that YouTube doesn't actually care about disinformation. And then you go and you watch the video, Tim Pool says, YouTube doesn't actually care about disinformation. He's like, they don't care. He says it. And he totally doesn't understand what the word admits means. Now, I just think it's fucking hilarious. So what I sent Tim Pool, I said, it's literally what you said, Tim, you delusional goofball. Now, if all of you guys were following at Timcast and me, you would be included in it. You'd see this conversation. You would have been able to like it, comment on it, and leave a retweet. And look at what it's got, guys. It's got no like, it's got no comment, it's got no retweet. Right? So you could go help out there, that would be great. In addition, look at what I put up. Look at what I posted at Tim. Admit, confess to be true, or to be the case. Typically with reluctance. You know, if Tim Pool thinks that he's not part of the YouTube corporation by being a content provider that accepts monetary compensation for his content, he's an idiot. He's part of YouTube. He's part of the machine, man. You know, he's part of it. So, yeah, he's definitely in a position to admit what YouTube is up to. No matter what he believes, he is admitting it. It's fucking hilarious. And if you guys get over on Twitter, go follow Timcast, you know, and so you can find that little back and forth, you know, because nobody found it. Go into my tweets and replies and scroll down until you see that. It'll be on my thing. It won't be that far. And go find it and go comment on it and send it back at Tim. You know, tweet it at Tim. Tweet it at other people, man. Tweet it at whoever the fuck. Go out there, go crazy. These are fucking great tweets, man. If somebody else wrote them, I'd totally support them. And I do. When I go through there, I find people when they make me laugh. When I see, I'm like, man, I would have said that to Ben Shapiro. I'm totally following this guy. You know, and sometimes they'll follow me back. You know, it's hard to get followers. Graham Elwood is literally out there. He's literally tweeting about this 21 minutes ago. Anna Kesbarian. Breaking. President Trump will pardon Julian Assange. Breaking news, guys. Someone said, it's Pastor Mark Burns. He's a blue check. Dude, he reports on the news. Oh, inadvertent tweet, faulty source, please disregard. 2 minutes ago. There, I'll let Lee Camp know. Is Twitter just 90% political boredom, or am I in the wrong part of it? I think it depends on who you follow. Joseph, thank you. David Campione just said, If you are wondering what Bell's palsy is, it makes you look like a zombie and your face is melting. Fuck that. Alan, don't tweet at my real name on Twitter, please. I should probably lock that account, huh? So people can't do that. It's just to send out when I'm live, that account. That's all that's for. Wow. I wonder how long this goes on for, man. Was it like, it's 1 o'clock over there? Are they going to wrap this up?
Dane and Milwaukee counties, heavily Democratic counties. Dane County, where we are right now in Madison, is also a big college town. Milwaukee County is heavily populated, Democratic, black and brown voters. A short time ago, I spoke with one of the
I think I'm going to make myself splash of confetti, put a bagel in.
Now here local time.
I haven't eaten yet today.
The elector told me he's received death threats. For example, he heard from people asking him to become a fearless elector, but that's not going to happen.
They're talking about
the
that again.
Will be escorted into the state
The
capitol.
death threats thing again.
Capitol
Isn't that
Police,
weird
and they will enter
that they
through
keep mentioning
a
that?
secret room because of the security threats.
Oh my God.
Okay. I'll pick
Oh
it up.
my
And
God.
CNN's Jeff Zeleny covering the Biden transition
Holy
in Wilmington, Delaware. Jeff?
Okay, President-elect Biden is watching all of this unfold, I'm told, after he received his classified data
Biden's
briefing
watching.
this morning. He is preparing to be president, as he's been doing really for...
Biden's watching,
since
but
the
I bet
7th
you
of
Trump
November
ain't.
When he delivered that first victory speech here in Wilmington. He'll
Here, let's
deliver
do
another
this.
one this evening, I'm told. But of course, so much else is going on. So he's doing...
Okay, Google. Where is President Donald Trump currently?
Here's a result from the web.
He's in-house today. It says in-house pool call time. Lunch with the vice president at 12:30. So he's eating lunch with they're literally eating lunch right now. Him and Mike Pence are eating lunch. I love it. And then he's going to sign an executive order on increasing economic and geographic mobility. I wonder what that is. Doesn't sound good. He played golf yesterday. fucking hilarious. You guys can get that shit on the internet. Factba.se. Factbase. Factbase with a dot between the A and the. Factbase. Oh, here come more votes.
No other person received a vote.
There you
the
go.
Commonwealth of Virginia, 13 electoral votes going to Biden. Let's check in on Rhode Island right now, and it's 4 electors.
Mr. President, I have sorted and counted the ballots and announce that there are 4 votes for Joseph R. Biden of Delaware for President of the United States.
Electors, you have heard the report of the Secretary of State, Nellie Gorbert, who sorted and counted the ballots. There are 4 votes for Joseph R. Biden of Delaware.
All right, let's check in Wisconsin right now, where they're voting on the situation there, and it's 10 electoral votes. Let's listen in. So they're handing the votes over to the teller right now. We're watching it closely, John. Wisconsin, as you correctly point out, was a key battleground state, that Trump won 4 years ago and lost this time around.
One of the so-called blue wall states. Well, if you come back out to look at the entire map, you just remember this as it played out. Joe Biden, at the end of the day, is going to have 306 electoral votes. 20 here, and then 10 in Michigan and 10 in Wisconsin. That's 50 right there. Takeaways, if you will, from Donald Trump 4 years ago. So if you bring it in now, just to go into the state of Wisconsin, where we're looking at this, you think about this: 10 electoral votes, again, absolutely essential to the Trump victory, the Trump surprise victory back in 2016. And so as we watch this count today, again, this is a reaffirmation. We have no drama today about the outcome, but it does remind us that it was a great day in democracy 4 years ago, too. I know Democrats out there did not vote for Donald Trump. They were not happy that President Trump won. But the system is the system. The system has rules. The system has process. The system has the ritual, like we're watching out today. 4 years ago, this state was red, if you go back in time. This was the key to the Trump victory 4 years ago. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, and Georgia as well, by the way, as they count their votes. Those are the big flips. So as we come forward to 2020, this is the great irony, is not a strong enough word for it today, that as President Trump celebrated getting these 10 4 years ago, guess what? Joe Biden will get them this time. It is an absolute affirmation of his campaign. What did he say at the outset of the campaign? A lot of doubts in the Democratic Party that he was the right man. He said, I can flip Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin back. But as you watch this process play out, Wolf, Joe Biden's going to get those 10 electoral votes out in Wisconsin. That's what he promised at the beginning. That is why he's going to be president-elect at the end of this day.
Yeah, we're watching it all unfold live here. You're watching what's going on in Wisconsin right now. The governor was going to be reading out the votes, 10 electoral votes in Wisconsin right now. As we wait, the official word in Wisconsin, David Chalian is joining us right now. Wisconsin turned out to be critical 4 years ago and very critical this time around as well.
Yeah, critical and close. About 20,000 votes or so Joe Biden won it by. The 10 electoral votes, critical to getting Joe Biden to that 306. But also, Wolf, I'm reminded, looking at Governor Tony Evers here presiding over this, Wisconsin all year long has sort of been central to this pandemic election year voting. I don't know if you remember back in the primary season, they had to change the date of the Wisconsin primary, and we saw people in line waiting to participate, socially distanced in that primary season. We then remember that Joe Biden's Democratic convention was supposed to take place in Milwaukee. Of course, it ended up going entirely virtual. Joe Biden addressing the country during his convention from Delaware, not Milwaukee, because of this pandemic. And now this critical battleground state is completing the process here, delivering the 10 electoral votes to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, one of the just 5 states that flipped from red to blue in this election season compared to 2016. And as John King was just saying, this was the building block for Donald Trump becoming president. And Joe Biden said from the beginning of his strategy that he had to restore that blue wall, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. And he did so. The easiest, most direct path for Joe Biden to win the White House was to restore and rebuild what had been traditionally Democratic states in presidential contests. And that is precisely what he did. Then he added those Sunbelt states of Arizona and Georgia to his total, which may have implications changing the country's electoral map going forward. But certainly, Biden created a coalition that depended on older voters, white college-educated voters, getting folks in the suburbs, in the critical suburbs in Wisconsin, around Milwaukee, out to vote for him and upend what Donald Trump was able to put together there 4 years ago. And you're seeing the culmination of that right now on your screen.
Yeah, and it's interesting, David, that not only the U.S. Supreme Court here in Washington, D.C., but state Supreme Courts in several of these key battleground states have rejected what President Trump is trying to do together with his supporters, his so-called legal team out there. They keep saying no, no, no. What, more than 50 times various courts, local, state, and the U.S. Supreme Court, they've ruled against him time after time after time. Yet, David, the president, he continues to refuse to accept reality.
Yeah, including in Wisconsin this morning. There was yet another court ruling, as you said, sort of swatting away this notion. Wolf, I think you're making such an important point, and it's why showing this, exposing this, bringing sunlight and daylight into this process is so important, because the courts have had their role. They weighed in, and we heard a lot of Republicans over the last many weeks say, well, all the legal challenges need to have time to be resolved. That process is done now. I mean, the Supreme Court could not have been more clear that the last legal challenge that made its way Friday night when we heard from the Supreme Court was not even allowed in the door. It was such an absurd attempt at a legal challenge. That process is now over. Now, the electors are going and casting their ballots in all 50 states and actually making Joe Biden president-elect, Kamala Harris vice president-elect, and Donald Trump can continue, and his supporters and allies can continue to think that there are avenues that simply don't exist. But let me be clear, they don't exist. This is that step in the process that shuts down those attempts, some of them without any fact attached to them whatsoever, to try and upend what is happening before your eyes today.
Yeah, Wisconsin, obviously a very, very key battleground state, a state now that will cast its 10 electoral votes for Joe Biden. Our Adrian Brodus is in Madison, outside the state capitol over there. The governor, Tony Evers, he's presiding over this session. It should be wrapping up fairly soon, Adrian.
It should, and Wolf, as we look at these images, quite a different scene compared to what we saw 4 years ago. As the electors cast their ballots 4 years ago in the 2016 presidential election, there were agitators inside of the room here at the Capitol, many of them shouting out, asking them not to cast their vote for President Donald Trump. And right now, you notice the 10 electors are spread out. Not only are they maintaining social distance, they're making sure they're safe inside. Security had to make sure they were safe outside. At least 3 of the 10 electors who are Black Americans were threatened. That's according to Khary Pennybaker. I spoke with him a short time ago. He said he's received death threats. Now, the other electors, some of them, they're well-known names, of course, as you mentioned. Governor Tony Evers, the chair of the Democratic National Party here in Wisconsin, and also the Lieutenant Governor, Baker. You see they're taking their time as they cast their vote, but indeed quite a different scene. And when I spoke to, there's a little bit of laughter inside right now. It appears someone may have made a joke that led to some laughter from the electors. But when I spoke to Khary earlier in the day, he said, what's happening surrounding the election, the fact that they have to have security, the fact that they had to enter through a secret entrance here at the Capitol overshadows this historic moment. And as we've been pointing out throughout the day, this is a ceremonial procedure that many of us never paid much attention to. Of course, our history buffs have, but your regular everyday folks, they weren't really paying attention to this step in the process.
Yeah, the electors, they are casting their ballots in state after state after state. We're watching these live pictures coming in from Wisconsin right now. They're doing the process. The governor is presiding there. Kristen Holmes is joining us right now. So you're looking very closely at all these states, but talk a little bit about Wisconsin.
Yeah, so here's what we're watching right now, and just to give you a little bit of context, essentially the same thing happens in every state. They do an introduction of the electors, they swear them in, and then the next thing you see is this audible roll call vote. And that's when, if there was to be a faithless elector, that's when it would happen at that moment. But we aren't expecting any of that. So in Wisconsin itself, we'll take a look here. This
Kristen,
is
I just want to interrupt for a moment.
votes,
Stand
as
by.
you guys have
I
been
think they're going to
discussing.
announce the vote. Let's listen in.
Okay, as chairperson of the Electoral College and governor of the great state of Wisconsin, it is my distinct honor to announce that Wisconsin casts its 10 electoral votes for President of the United States of America to Joseph R. Biden Jr. and for Vice President of the United States of America, 10 electoral votes also for Kamala D. Harris.
There it is. It's official. You hear the governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers, making the announcement. The 10 electoral votes going to Biden and Harris. It's very, very significant moment right there. Let's check in. North Carolina, a state that President Donald Trump carried, they just voted.
The electoral votes of the state of North Carolina have been cast on this 14th day of December 2020 by the 15 North Carolina Republican electors, and all 15 votes are for Donald J. Trump for President of the United States.
All right, that's the 15 electoral votes in North Carolina. Let's check in Ohio right now. They've just made their electoral college votes official last month. President-elect Biden was the first to win the presidency without winning Ohio.
And 18 votes for Vice President Mike Pence for Vice President. Secretary LaRose, I invite you back to the podium to explain the procedure for electors to memorialize their votes.
All right, so there you have Ohio, and it's 18 electoral votes going for Trump. In Kentucky, they just finished voting as well. The Commonwealth of Kentucky has 8 electoral votes. Watch this.
The electors for the Commonwealth of Kentucky have cast 8 electoral votes for Donald J. Trump for President of the United States and 8 electoral votes for Michael R. Pence for Vice President of the United States. Thank you to all of who've attended today. This concludes our ceremony. Chief Justice Minton, if you'll please lead the processional, the electors.
All right, so there you have Kentucky and several other states. They're moving along relatively quickly, Jake. We're watching all of this unfold. It's not going to be until the 5 p.m. Eastern hour when California will cast its electoral votes, and then it will all be official. Biden and Harris will have over 270.
That's right, and we are not watching because we anticipate there will be any surprises. We do believe that the electors will vote the way that the voters wanted them to, which is to say that President-elect Biden won. But we are watching because never before in modern history has any U.S. president so attacked the foundations of democracy as is going on right now. And, you know, there's a debate, Dana and Abby, about how fragile is our democracy. I happen to, and this is an opinion, I happen to believe that our democracy is more fragile than today would suggest. That if 25 election officials and judges out there had less character and were more easily cowed by nasty tweets from the president, who knows where we would be. But thankfully, we have officials like since fired official from the Department of Homeland Security, Chris Krebs, and the Secretary of State and the governor of Georgia, two conservative Republicans, Brian Kemp and Brad Raffensperger, the Philadelphia City Commissioner Al Schmidt, canvassing board members in Arizona and Michigan, and recently, just this morning, a 4-3 decision in the Wisconsin Supreme Court. These are people rising to the challenge, but 25 people with a little less character, who knows what would have happened?
No, you're exactly right. And institutionally, people like judges on a state level and on a federal level are supposed to be governed by the Constitution, by what is right when it comes to evidence that is presented to them, and not by the political whims of their constituents, which is why it was set up this way. But I have to say, just in watching some of these states, it is striking that the claims of fraud they're so one-sided. Not surprising, but I think it's maybe important to say it out loud, which is, there were some states early on when we were looking at the votes, it looked like Joe Biden could win, and it ended up that Donald Trump took them. And you're not seeing or hearing Joe Biden claim fraud in a place like Ohio. You're not seeing or hearing him claim fraud in other states that Donald Trump ended up winning. And it's because he's respecting the process. Just like every Republican candidate for president in recent memory has done before him. And I think it's worth noting that that is happening. Now, it's easy to do that when you're going to win, over 300 electoral votes, but he doesn't have to. He's doing it because he sees reality in front of him.
Yeah, it's such a good point because it just reveals the logical fallacy of this whole conspiracy theory that the president actually in his tweet yesterday, as he was spiraling about this issue, said in every swing state there was rampant fraud and all kinds of crazy things that he said happened in every swing state. Well, in some of those swing states, he won. Mm-hmm. He won in the state of Florida. He won in the state of North Carolina. We just saw North Carolina certify their electoral college for President Trump. But he's claiming that it's only in the swing states where Joe Biden won, where all of these, crazy conspiracies happened. It makes absolutely no sense because if there were problems of this magnitude, you would not only see them appearing for one person. And by the way, as we've discussed many times, if Democrats really wanted to rig this election, they would have rigged it so that they easily won the Senate and easily expanded their majorities in the House. That is all, I think, part of the complete, fantasy land the president and his supporters are living in. But I think what we're seeing here, actually, Jake, you said earlier, we're not expecting any surprises. In more than half of the states, yes, they are bound by law to vote the way their state went. In some cases, there are no penalties for not doing that. But I think what is notable so far is that we haven't seen actually people deviating from the state, the state vote. I think that's very notable. It's commendable because, as you said, this is a fragile situation that I think we're in. It only relies on people doing the right thing. And so far in all of these states, they've done the right thing. There have been no surprises, and I think we expect it to be like that for the rest of the day.
Right now you're looking at images of, I assume it's a man dressed as Uncle Sam and not actually Uncle Sam in Alabama. I assume that he is about to award the electoral votes in the state of Alabama to President Trump, outgoing President Trump. Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro has been fending off many Trump campaign and other Republican legal efforts in this campaign season. He's also one of the electors for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. He joins me now live from Harrisburg. Josh, before I ask you about today's process, I just want to get some clarification. Republicans are complaining, and the Trump campaign is complaining about the election results in Pennsylvania. Are any of these Republicans, such as Congressman Mike Kelly, who's been leading the charge to disenfranchise the voters of Pennsylvania and just give those electors to Trump, Kelly or any of the statewide officials, because I believe a couple of Republicans won some statewide races in Pennsylvania a few weeks ago as well. Are any of them saying, obviously this election was fraudulent, and that's me too, my race too, that I won? Therefore, we should have all the election do over, or are they just saying that there was only one issue and that has to do with one person on the slate that day, but all the other elections were fine?
Well, Jake, I don't think you can apply any logic or any rationality to anything Congressman Kelly or his cohort are saying. They claim that there is fraud. There's been no fraud. There's been no production of any evidence of fraud. It's why Donald Trump, his campaign, and his enablers have lost at every single turn in the courts here in Pennsylvania, through our state courts, through our federal courts, and ultimately in the United States Supreme Court just a couple days ago.
Well, Josh, I hate to correct an attorney general, but the lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania, a fellow Democrat, he says there actually were 2 instances of fraud in Pennsylvania. Both of them were Republicans committing voter fraud in order to vote for President Trump.
Well, I've seen John Fetterman's points about that. He makes a good point, but these individuals were attempting to commit voter fraud. In terms of the widespread voter fraud that Donald Trump keeps tweeting about and lying about, and enablers like Mike Kelly keep attempting to amplify, there is absolutely no evidence of that. And Jake, let me be clear, as the chief law enforcement officer of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, if I saw any type of widespread voter fraud like the kind the president keeps tweeting about, I'd prosecute it, as I've done in the past. This was a safe and secure election, period.
The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania just cast its electoral votes for President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. Usually this is a moment without television coverage, without a lot of fanfare. Did it feel differently? How did it feel to cast your vote?
You know, Jake, this was my 3rd time serving as an elector. It's an extraordinary honor. And this time did feel different.
I want popcorn.
It felt like the exclamation point on some of the, the ridiculous and baseless claims and meritless claims that the president has put forth. And this was the exclamation point, clearly demonstrating yet again that Joe Biden will be the next President Franklin. It was really an honor. It was special. I was overcome with emotion, and it was really
Really? Did you cry, bro? Did you tear up, bro? Did you get all emotional, bro?
Point of pride for me to be able to reflect the will.
Whatever, bro. Roll tape. We're ready. And action. Having some technicals. There's a lot of people wanting to watch this fucking thing, I bet. A lot of demand on their servers. I had to eat, I was starved. Got this big chunk of Swiss. So good. Order a 6-pound or a 9-pound block of Swiss cheese from Amazon. They deliver it right to my door in a refrigerated box. Fucking awesome. Sealed in plastic. Pop it in the freezer. Big old 6-pound chunk of Swiss cheese. Tastes great. You never know it was frozen. Yeah, it's a comedy channel, all right.
steal the election on the floor of the House. Would that concern you?
Yeah, it does concern me, Jake, and I think you're correct to point out that obviously the House of Representatives under Speaker Pelosi will not entertain this charade. But you do raise two broader questions. Number one,
yeah, you guys aren't going to talk about Medicare for all, though, are you? Fuck no, they won't. I'm not going to bring that up. Not going to hear about Jimmy Dore fucking trending on Twitter on MSM. Because of us. Because of people like us. People that gave a shit enough to get the word out there to everybody. You froze shredded cheese? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've never tried it. I've just done the blocks. Rogan's like, he's waiting for his piece, man. Rogan's like, what do I got coming? How about the little man down here? I got you. Don't you worry about it. You just calm down. I love freaking mozzarella cheese. I got a brick of that too. I hate American cheese. Fucking hate it. All right, how much of this is yours? This is for me. All right, nice one right hand. Break this up a little bit. This is for me. Now for Rogan, we're gonna give him all of this. This, Rogan's big bite. Rogan's going to be loving this. Okay, now we're going to start you off with an hors d'oeuvre. Okay, sir, here's an hors d'oeuvre. That's right, little hors d'oeuvre. Now you ready for the main course, buddy? Oh, what? Oh, look at that. What did Daddy make for you? That was good, wasn't it? That's right. You goddamn right it was. You're goddamn right it was. You're goddamn right it was. All right. Woo! I'm ready for some chocolate. What do you say? I'm ready for some chocolate. What is that? What are you doing? Nobody's even doing it. Hey, look at this. Oh, hey, look at this. Hey, look at you. Hey, look at all this. I have to go whipped cream. But, you know, I'll use that. Fuck it. I do need my Oreos. Domino's, Oreos, it'll be alright. Roll around a little bit. Roll Charlie around a little bit. He'll be alright. good. We're all good. You're very good. You. Shut up, you. This dog's gonna have to go out. I haven't even taken him out yet. He's amazing. This dog's amazing. It's fucking 10:30. I must have taken him out this morning at some point. I put him on the leash and let him out. Must have, because he's doing fine right now. You're doing fine, aren't you, buddy? Come here. You're gonna have to go outside soon, though. Right? I know. Okay. I've been doing a live show for fucking 3 hours. I know you gotta go out soon. What? I got some Ben and Jerry's here. Shut up, yo. I learned something new. You learned how to freeze cheese. That's the tip of the day. You can freeze cheese.
Welcome back to the CNN special event. The Electoral College votes. We're following the democratic process live as electors in states across the country formally select the president. Minutes ago, electors in Arizona cast their 11 electoral votes for President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. So let's go to Dana Bash right now. She's got a special guest.
Thanks, Wolf. And joining me now on the phone is Arizona's Secretary of State, Katie Hobbs. Thank you so much for joining us. First, you just heard Wolf say that Arizona cast its electoral votes for President-elect Joe Biden. Take us inside the room. What happened there?
Take us inside.
So we convened the 11 electors for Arizona, the Democratic electors. We had a swearing-in ceremony where they took an oath of office, and then they all signed all of the certificates that we have to get to the places they need to go. And it was so just momentous to be a part of that, no matter who the electors were. It was just this is such a defining process in our American electoral system, and it was just really amazing to be a part of.
What's your favorite and a big deal politically, because aside from 1996, Arizona has not gone for a Democrat since 1948. This was a big pickup for the Democrats. I know that is your party. I have to ask about the fact that electors in states across the country, including yours, apparently faced some threats against, or violent threats, I should say. You held your vote in an undisclosed location. Is that why that was necessary?
Yes, absolutely. We've seen increasingly escalating sort of rhetoric and threats throughout the last week, and decided to move this for everybody, the safety of everyone involved.
How did that come to pass? I mean, at one point, did you say this really fundamental democratic process has become so dangerous that we need to protect the electors who are going to cast these votes today?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. We've been working with the state law enforcement, Department of Public Safety, and the governor's office, and really this was done kind of as a collaborative recommendation in terms of making it as safe as possible.
And President Trump has been attacking your Republican governor, trying to get him to overturn your state's results. What does this mean for the process, generally speaking, as the Secretary of State there?
Well, I've been saying since this election that the rhetoric, the unfounded accusations, the undermining of the integrity of the election are and continue to be dangerous to our democracy. And I think that the impact is going to be far-reaching, much beyond this election, in terms of the public faith in the institutions of our government and our democracy. And unless we have leaders that are focused on this is the democratic process, it's how it works in our country, and working on unifying and rebuilding, I think there's permanent damage that's been done to our election systems and our country.
Well, hopefully the faith can be restored, and we're sorry that you had to go to an undisclosed location to do something that, as I believe Alice Stewart said earlier, the electors should be getting a ticker tape parade, not threats against them. Thank you so much, Katie Hobbs, the Secretary of State in Arizona. Wolf, back to you.
Yeah, as I keep saying, it's hard to believe these threats are happening here in the United States of America. In Topeka, Kansas, electors allocated the state 6 electoral votes just minutes ago. Watch this.
After tallying the ballots by the Kansas Electoral College,
President Donald J. Trump, the Republican, received all 6 electoral votes. We'll now commence voting for Vice President.
South Dakota's electors, 3 of them also just cast their ballots. So watch this voting in South Dakota.
Electoral college.
All right, we have 3 votes for Mike Pence for Vice President of the United States and 3 votes for Donald Trump for President of the United States. I think that's what remains is just signing the certificates.
Go Trump!
We'll
Go
do that
Trump!
this time.
In Maryland, members of the Electoral College just cast their 10 electoral votes for President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. All of this unfolding on this historic day. Aaron, back to you.
Benny, I unblocked you.
I, Gloria Lawler, President of Maryland Electors, proudly cast my vote for President-elect Joe Biden. Electors, please state your name and your vote for the record, beginning with our secretary.
All right, well, just want to point out that was the 10 electoral votes in the state of Maryland going for Biden and Harris. Now back to Aaron Burnett.
All right, well, thank you. Yes, we were watching that, the great state of Maryland, my home state. Mark Preston, let me ask you, you heard Katie Hobbs just tell Dana from Arizona that she worries there's been permanent damage done to the system. And today you have another opportunity for many Republicans in Congress, right, who won't acknowledge the president-elect as the president-elect, who signed on to that Bunk, Texas lawsuit that the Supreme Court unanimously struck down last week. They have a chance today to do the right thing, particularly leadership, right? McConnell, McCarthy. Are we going to see it?
I don't think so. Certainly not from some of Donald Trump's biggest supporters, but I think this is going to become a much bigger problem for the Republican Party as we head into the next year. If you look at the likes of Jeff Duncan, who's the lieutenant governor from Georgia, or Brian Kemp, the governor from Georgia, these 2 gentlemen are very, very conservative lawmakers. They are Trumpers. They have been supportive of him. They have done everything politically for him except break the law. Now, you look at those 2, and you look at the likes of Mitt Romney, Ben Sasse up here in Washington, is that you're going to see a civil war in the Republican Party next year, where you're going to see people try to steal it back from those who have really altered it and distorted the Republican Party the last couple of years.
All right, so when you talk about people talking about stealing, Kirsten, let me just show you a tweet that came from Hillary Clinton, just talking about the reforms she wants in the process. I'm wondering if now is the time. She obviously was just an elector in the state of New York. There she is after casting her vote. And she tweets with that picture, I believe we should abolish the Electoral College and select our president by the winner of the popular vote, same as every other office. But while it still exists, I was proud to cast my vote in New York for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
But here's my
now
electoral
time
vote.
to say that?
So hypocritical.
I mean, maybe not, but
Here I am partaking
it is a position that a lot of Democrats hold for obvious reasons, which is that Democrats keep winning elections with more votes and not always winning the Electoral College, and so and we could have another time to talk through all the reasons why it probably is a good idea to get rid of the Electoral College, but right now, on the day that we are having this experience of actually seeing the votes being counted, I think that it's best to just focus on that. And the real problem is that Donald Trump and his enablers in Congress have led a large segment of the population to believe that our elections are not trustworthy and that Democrats are out to steal elections. And that is really the fundamental problem that we're going to be dealing with for quite some time.
Alice, what do you think about the timing of that and the impact it may have on some of these Republicans who need to now step up and do the right thing and acknowledge Joe Biden as the president-elect?
It should be a matter of time before certainly that happens. Look, I think it's important to remember one of the key purposes of having the Electoral College is to give smaller states equal voice in the process. And also another fundamental part of that, I was Deputy Secretary of State in Arkansas, and one of the key points of the Electoral College is to allow each state to run their own election, and no other state, no matter how big, how small, how red, how blue, can second guess how each state conducts their election. And I think it's important to do that for the voice of the smaller states. So I don't see that changing. I'm really proud of elected officials, Republican elected officials who, like me, wanted President Trump to win,
Nice,
but
Betty.
did not.
Nice.
He did not win, and have accepted that. They certified the results, like in my home state of Georgia. They have certified the results. They have let the voice be heard, and they're looking to the next most important thing. We talk a lot about the Electoral College, but it's important for Republicans to turn their efforts on not overturning Joe Biden's presidency, but making sure the firewall stays in place in the state of Georgia and making sure we get those 2 Senate candidates elected there. The Electoral College process, I think, has a valid purpose, and I don't see it going away.
Ben and
All
Jerry's
of you,
ice cream.
thank you very
So far,
much.
guys.
Back to you, Wolf.
Thank you. More states will certainly make their electoral votes official in just moments. We're also following major coronavirus news here in the United States. Some of the very first vaccines in the U.S. are being administered. We'll update you on that. Stay with us.
Yeah, they're sticking needles in people's arms. Oh my God, big news. We're gonna cover that for you. I mean, I think you just did. You know, what more needs to be said about it? Unless you're gonna actually tell us about the Bell's palsy that it's been causing in people, I'd love to hear more about that. Put an Oreo in the last of my ice cream. Oh, what, son? Tip of the day. Take Oreos, crunch them up, and put them in your ice cream. But I don't know if they might go stale if you crunch it up and then try to freeze it. I don't know. But like this, fresh, His ear looks terrible today. Damn, that was fucking good. That's how I lose weight. I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, dude, you just had a fucking bagel with tuna fish and orange juice. I had something else with it too, didn't I? And Oreo cookies with ice cream and chocolate milk. What are you even fucking talking about? The trick is, eat the chocolate early in the day. It works for me. It can work for you too. Gives your body a chance to burn all that shit off instead of just sitting in your gut at night. How cold is it outside? 43, 44, something like that. Freezing. I don't want to go out there. At least the sun's coming up. Holy shit, it's fucking cold outside. It's like winter now all of a sudden. All of a sudden, and then all of a sudden it became winter. So, I have to take my dog outside. I got a little chocolate on me. Alright, let's put some clothes on. I have not even taken you out yet, buddy. I told you guys I got another mouse. I found his house. I found where he's living. The cat got him this morning but let him go. He went back into his little fucking house. So I'm gonna see. I don't know if I can get to it from where he is. But if I can get him out of his house again, like the cat caught him, I know where to block it off where he can't get back in there. And then I can fucking deal with him. Another thing I can do is I can set up one of my famous mouse traps. Basically just a flower vase with stuff stacked around it and food inside it, and they go up in and they go down in the flower vase and they can't get out. Glass flower vase. Do it with a mason jar too. A big mason jar. Or a 5-gallon bucket. I caught 3 mice like that in a day. Bing, bang, boom. Boom. All right, so.
Right now, the U.S. is nearing a very, very grim milestone. Almost 300,000 coronavirus deaths here in the United States. Right now, the death toll is 299,737.
Oh, no, I'm sure it's 300.
The University of Michigan Hospital is preparing to inject its first round of coronavirus vaccines. That's where CNN Sarah Seid is joining us right now. So, Sarah, walk us through exactly what's going on.
We're sticking needles in arms. Wolf. We're fucking popping goddamn needles in people's arms.
At 8:45 this morning here at the University of Michigan Medical Center, otherwise known as Michigan Medicine, we saw the vials come in. We saw a package come in by UPS right on time. Now what you are looking at is Sarah, also great name. She is going back and forth, and she's going to what they call reconstitute the actual inoculation. You'll see it there. She is taking very good care to make sure everything is sanitized. But basically, this comes in frozen, and as you know, it's that like -70 degrees Celsius. They take it out of dry ice, they put it into a super cold refrigerator. It has to kind of warm up a bit before it can be mixed in with a little saline, and then it will be put into the arms of those who are on the front lines. As we understand it, the next 5 people to get this, the first 5 people here, are people who have been taking care of COVID patients. There you see the needle there going into the vial, and she is going to be mixing these two, the saline and the actual vaccine together to make sure that it is easy, goes into your arm, not a big deal. And look, for so long we have been watching people suffer with coronavirus, and we've been watching these amazing heroes every single day making sure to take care of these patients. They've also exhausted themselves because they also have to think about their own health and their family's health every single day, every time they come in contact with someone who has COVID. This is the beginning of the end. This is the Pfizer vaccine that has made it here just this morning, and it will be used in just a bit and put into the arms of those who are on the front lines of fighting this virus. It is something that folks were able to cheer about, and it's a long time since I've heard cheering, Wolf.
Yeah, it certainly is. We're watching this very, very closely. Really, really important moment unfolding right now. We're also standing by for another big hour of the Electoral College situation. 9 states and the District of Columbia will soon allocate their electoral votes. We'll have live coverage. Stay with us. Welcome to our viewers here in the United States and around the world. I'm Wolf Blitzer in the CNN Election Center. Right now, American democracy is in action, and we're watching it unfold very, very dramatically. Members of the Electoral College are gathering across the United States to formally select the winner of the 2020 presidential election. Today, President-elect Joe Biden will reach the key threshold of 270 electoral votes. President Donald Trump has been pressuring states to ignore the will of American voters. Any moment now, new results will come in, and we'll bring that to you live. Electors will cast ballots in Colorado, the District of Columbia, Maine, Michigan, Florida, Idaho, North Dakota, Utah, West Virginia, and Wyoming. President-elect Biden right now to count to the necessary 270 electoral votes. Right now, he has 150. As history unfolds.
A couple of interesting states in the hour ahead, Wolf, as we go through this ritual. It's in the Constitution. It's often ignored, but it's absolutely critical today because, number one, just to reaffirm the Joe Biden victory. Number two, to watch this history play out across the country. And number three, just to rebut once and for all, if you need another rebuttal, of the things the President of the United States has been saying that are simply false, that there was widespread massive fraud, that he won the election. He did not. And by 5 o'clock tonight in the East Coast here, when California puts Joe Biden over the top officially, we will have another. This is not the only affirmation, but another affirmation that no, the election was held. It was held quite well, conducted quite well, and Joe Biden is the winner. In the 2 o'clock hour, 10 states plus the District of Columbia, 92 electoral votes in all. If you're looking for sort of the highlights here, here's one for the president. He's going to get 29 votes in Florida. Remember, Joe Biden thought he could make a play in Florida. No, the president won. The battleground states were close. There was no widespread fraud. This was just a tough election.
There was no widespread fraud. I love the way they say that. They just keep rubbing it in. They keep mentioning it.
Most important to them is right here, Michigan. Remember, we've talked about this. This is the third of the so-called blue walls.
You look through that room. The name is Maximo Alvarez. Jeff, you probably remember his emotional speech during the RNC. He's there. A couple of other electors are elected officials and party. As I said.
All right, Rosa Flores in Tallahassee, Florida. Thanks so much. You know, it's interesting also, one of the responses to that crazy Texas lawsuit, which tried to take away the electoral votes from Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, came from the outgoing Democratic governor of Montana, who said, you know, we have early voting too.
I'm going to weigh
we have vote by mail too. We put into place all sorts of new measures because of COVID. But for some reason, you're not suing us, even though we did the same thing that these other states did, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, in response to the COVID pandemic. I guess that's probably because Donald Trump won Montana.
Yeah, exactly. In Montana, in places like North Carolina. In North Carolina, they extended the deadline where you could accept absentee ballots by 9 days. 9 days in that state. President Trump won that state. And we don't hear any complaints or efforts to try to overturn the results of that election. They made those changes because of the coronavirus pandemic. This is not about logic anymore. This is just about the president wanting to say that he has won. He's obviously not going to be able to do that, but I think that the idea that any element of this has a basis in fact has been long since thrown out the window. You know, 50 or 60 court cases ago, it's been thrown out the window.
And one other thing going on today, obviously, as we're watching all this history in presidential politics, is there is the coronavirus pandemic and the first vaccines being administered to Americans outside of the clinical trials. This is in New York City. This is the NYU Langone Health Center, and we're watching some of the frontline healthcare workers doctors, nurses, and others getting the COVID vaccine from Pfizer BioNTech. It's a day for celebration on that front because, of course,
Nate's Garden Group on
there is
Facebook.
the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's something for us to watch. Dana?
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of talking earlier about the poetry, perhaps, symbolism of the fact that we're watching this remarkable moment of healthcare workers, the first recipients of this vaccine that was produced in Warp Speed. And that is happening on the same day that a new chapter in politics and in government is beginning in an official constitutional way with the Electoral College happening. And the split screen is quite interesting, and
It's exciting.
That's
It's
exciting.
because obviously we still have some tough months to get through when it comes to the pandemic. There's Mayor Bill de Blasio, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel that we just have to hunker down for a few more months, and when we get to the late spring, early summer, things should be closer to back to normal.
yeah, closer to, and if I could just add, I mean, the fact that we are here before the end of 2020, the end of this horrific year, horrific because of the pandemic, it is really remarkable. And the fact that these healthcare workers want to show, not just obviously get the vaccine, but are eager to show the world that they are getting it in order to make it normal and to make people feel safe about it is really, really important.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great day for science, you know, and it's a great day for facts. And I think that, you know, as you were just saying, the symbolism of these things happening on the same day is really important because science is what brought us here. Researchers in the lab every single day working to find a cure, working to find a vaccine. This is the product of that. And I think a lot of the same people who want to doubt that you should wear a mask, that you should take a vaccine, are the same people who are living in fantasy island about this election that we're also discussing today. But I think we got to redirect people. These are kind of parallel universes. It's facts and science, and that's where we ought to be living, not in a fantasy land in which you know, you can just do whatever you want and have super spreader events and not wear a mask and not be responsible. We have good things happen in this country, progress being made on the coronavirus because we trust in science and facts. And I think our democracy is going to survive today and in the days after because of facts and because of the fact that people are also doing the right thing and standing by the Constitution that has laid out the process.
He weighs 65 pounds now. He's heavier. He's gained 5 pounds.
And though I do think President Trump deserves credit for Operation Warp Speed, for investing and for announcing the program that has helped bring the Pfizer vaccine, we can't escape the fact that President Trump has been on the other side when it comes to facts and the pandemic, downplaying it, making fun of mask wearing, putting forth all sorts of bogus solutions to the problem. And he is also putting forward a whole bunch of lies when it comes to the election. And as Abby points out, Wolf, it's important that people hew to the facts, whether it comes to the election, which President-elect Biden won, or the pandemic, which should be taken very seriously.
Yeah, as we say, facts first. So important. Let's check in Alabama right now. They have just made their decision, 9 electoral votes. We know where they went. Watch this.
Based on candidate votes by the electors, the 9 electoral votes. The Vice President, Michael R. Pence, representative of the 1st Congressional District, proudly cast his vote for President Donald J. Trump.
States were awaiting.
Remain battleground states. Wolf, I see future presidential contests where we're I've spent a lot of time in Michigan, in Florida, 2 states that are going to be casting their electoral votes this hour. You know, Michigan is one of those states that so-called blue wall. All that Donald Trump busted through. It's how he won the White House in 2016. And of those three states, Pennsylvania.
I can't even get my hand around that mouth. Oh, it's a big mouth. It's a big mouth.
Michigan and Wisconsin. Well, Michigan is the one that came back strongest to the Democratic side. Joe Biden won Michigan by more than 140,000 votes, I think. Of those three states, it's certainly the widest vote margin that Joe Biden had in those states over Donald Trump in his mission of rebuilding that blue wall. Governor Gretchen Whitmer was one of Joe Biden's contenders for his vice presidential slot, and as you know, has been battling all year long as it comes to the pandemic with Donald Trump and his White House.
Hold on for a moment. Let's listen into Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
Beazle weighs 65 pounds.
People from all walks of life, from all 83 counties of our state, Republicans and Democrats and independents, cast their vote this past November. Michigan has chosen a clear winner for the office of President of the United States and for every elected office up and down that ballot. The people have spoken. It was a safe, fair, and secure election. It was the kind of election our founding fathers envisioned when they created this democracy and built this country. And after today, the results will be fine.
No. 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 Lies. No lies. No. No lies. I always do that when my bandwidth chokes on me. I always try to guess what the next thing is they're going to say. I do it all the time. OCD. That's my OCD.
StarTex water repellent seats. That's growth. In the
He has faced no consequence for it. And like, what is the name for a journalist who makes their bones imprisoning, well, not that Luke Harding himself imprisoned Julian Assange, but basically spreading the propaganda that imprisons other journalists? There needs to be a name for that, other than just propagandists, because propaganda is hard to know.
Yeah, we've already got one over here, but you Americans don't like it. It begins with C, and you don't like it. So we've already got a word.
That's
and
not
that's what
even
he
good
is.
enough, but because sometimes
Okay, he's
on
my
your
girlfriend
shores that
I so want to say it now, Ron. I really do. I so want to say he's a shit cunt.
Shit cunt!
That's what he is. That's the word. He's a shit cunt.
I think
A shit cunt.
Harding is.
we need something even worse, because on your side of the bones, that is at times a term of endearment.
Yeah, a shit cunt. No, a cunt. He's all right. You know, Mickey Flanagan. You know the comedian Mickey Flanagan. He's all right. He's a bit of a cunt, but he's all right.
Right.
But no, Luke Harding. He's a shit cunt.
Oh, so
that's
whenever
what he is. He's a shit cunt.
Is that a thing? Is that if you ever add shit to it, it's automatically bad?
Well, this is somebody who let's not forget this. This Luke Harding, he's been making millions off selling falsehoods.
Ron Placone is live right now, and they're talking about shit cunts.
He was the one who sold the original script that went on to be.
This is the kind of stuff that you guys are missing because you don't watch Ron Placone.
Snowden in. That Snowden begged Benedict Cumberbatch. Sorry, not Snowden. Assange. That Assange begged Cumberbatch not to be in because it was factually untrue. But it went ahead anyway. You know, it's just propaganda, and this has been happening for over a year now. They don't care about the truth, these people. They only care what version of the truth that they can spin, that they can get away with doing. What they're doing, and what they're doing is just destroying the fourth estate and journalism, and it's we have got to stop this. We have. Well, you spoke about, just if you don't mind, Piccadilly Circus on Saturday. I spoke to so many different people from all walks of life, old, young. Some people were from the UK. They had accents from all over. Some people you could tell from other countries, you know. But once they understood, and once they knew the truth, they were all horrified that we were doing it. And this is why our media won't tell the people the truth about it, because they know if people knew, there would be a revolt against it. This is disgusting what is happening to Julian Assange, and it has happened for 10 years, and we cannot let it
I can't
get
send a super
away.
chat to Ron Placone.
We can't let them get away from it any longer. Let's get him home for
Is that a
Christmas
blue?
and force them
Is that a
to
blue
do
cannabis
something.
leaf behind Gordon? I asked.
Your friend Jimmy Dawson, amazing. He's doing great things at the moment, trying to force a Medicare for all.
We're going to talk about that in a minute.
We've got to do the same thing with Assange. We've got to get on the phone. If you're in the UK, write a letter. Go on the Assange website and find out who your AP is and get a letter sent to your MP. Speak to your teacher. Speak to your doctor. Speak to your lawyer. Speak to family. You got, you know, stuff coming up when you're on the phone to them. And, you know, obviously if you can't be there over Christmas, speak to them about this. This is truth. This is free speech, and this is journalism.
Karsten, you're in the. You're in Ron Placone's. Yay! Karsten and me are at Ron Placone's right now.
Your children and grandchildren are going to have a better future, because if you don't know what the truth is, how can you start?
Shauna! I see Shauna
If you don't
at Ron Placone's.
you are going to come to the wrong conclusion. It's as simple as that. And you may have the best intentions, but you're going to be wrong.
You know, so getting back to what just happened, you know, why this is in the big spotlight today, which this guy tweeted that Donald Trump's going to pardon Julian Assange. A little bit over an hour later, he tweets that that was bullshit. What do you think happened?
I don't know. You know what? I don't want to speculate, Ron, because something similar happened over here. Something similar happened over here. About 18 months ago, it was with an MP called Chris Williamson with the Labour Party. You don't know, he was suspended for anti-Semitism. It's it wasn't suspended for anti-Semitism. It was a bullshit anti-Semitism smear.
How do you log out of your account on here?
Well, kind of like what they do to Corbyn, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what they've done for Corbyn, and I screamed at the time for Corbyn and whatever to stand up for him, and he
Switch
didn't.
account.
I said that they're going to come after you with this, but if you don't stand up, and he didn't, and now look at what's happened. It's like,
Where'd the live show go? I was just watching. Assholes. Dude, and now Ron Placone is gone.
We were just attacked. That's right. About 4 a.m., the printing press of our Hong Kong edition was visited by four
Oh,
masked
shut
men
up, you
who were
fucking assholes.
something. I don't want to speculate. Who knows? Have you got any ideas?
Well, I mean, I think the obvious things that come to mind, and again, this is all just speculation. I think that there is a chance. I mean, chance A, this guy just wanted to get some followers. He just wanted to build some clout, and he saw an opportunity to do it. And, you know, what a despicable thing to do. I mean, as soon as it happened, I checked Christine Assange's account. I checked Donald Trump's account himself, because it's like, okay, if Donald Trump is going to do this, and this goes for the future too, folks, I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, Donald Trump will announce it on Twitter. If Donald Trump does pardon Julian Assange, I wouldn't put money on that if I were you. I'm certainly not going to. But if by chance he does, he will announce it via Twitter. So I was just refreshing Trump's Twitter feed until we went live to see if he's going to tweet anything about this. So there's a chance this guy just made up some bullshit for some clout. And they said, hey man, what are you doing? I think another possibility, maybe this guy actually does want to see Julian Assange pardoned. I don't know much about Trump's past. So I, just disclaimer there. I don't know much. I know next to nothing about the guy. That's it. I just knew who he was because of his bio.
Yeah.
So maybe he does want to see Assange pardoned. Maybe he talked to Trump about it. Trump was open to it. So he got excited, tweeted about it.
And then some people who really called the shots for Donald Trump said,
Hey, Carl.
No, you're not going to do that. And Trump said, okay. And then this guy had to retract.
This is the kind of stuff Trump caused. Domestic violence. People hating each other. It's true. Ty comes directly from Rachel.
Or at least, what everybody was
What?
saying back in 2016. Do you remember 2016, Ron? Do you remember everybody saying, oh, thank God we've seen the back of that year? Hey, do you remember that? Anyway, in 2016, there was, I remember, people like Howard Stern were saying about Donald Trump, all he wants to be is a love. Well, I tell you what, Donald Trump, if you pardon Assange and Snowden, you're going to get a lot of love from all across the aisle. That's for sure. Left, right, centrist, all around the world, and not just in America.
Yeah, and not to mention, man, talk about, dunking on the people who really you don't like. I mean, God, if somebody just every day tweeted him that video of Hillary Clinton complaining about Julian Assange, I mean, it couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt.
No, not at all.
It's like, hey, man, you want to quote-unquote own the libs? I don't know if you ever heard people say, own. In the United States, that just means, that refers to basically anyone who's not for the GOP. That you're owning the libs. So that would even though I'm not a liberal, that would include people like me. Like you're owning the libs.
That's like 74% of the country by that analysis, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a goofy thing that doesn't really mean anything. But talk about owning the libs, Donald Trump. You could pardon Julian Assange. And in reality, you wouldn't just be owning the libs because actual liberals don't like Julian Assange. But you'd also be owning the radical left because all of us said, yeah, right, we're radical. In your country, you would just be considered, on the left. In this country, we're considered watch list. So there is a difference. But
yeah, what you call the radical left over there, we call David Cameron. That's essentially they're the same. In fact, I would go so far as to say David Cameron is further to the left than the people that you're calling the radical left, and he's a moderate conservative.
Yeah. Well, no.
It really isn't. Honestly, Ron, I'm watching American news at the moment, and it's quite incredible. This whatever this left-right spectrum is that people look at, I think it's been changed for a lot of different people. What's a radical leftist? Well, you get healthcare, and
You wrote to your politicians, Carson?
You get your student loan paid. What's a radical leftist?
Well, and when I was
You
saying
get to save the climate.
And when I would say, I was in the scenario, I was speaking to Donald Trump, not you or me. You know what I mean? Like I was like by Donald Trump's optics, I'm the radical left, and that's what I mean. Like, hey man, you would be owning the radical left because we said you weren't going to do it. We said, I don't think he is. So hey man, get your opportunity to dunk on me, Donald Trump. I said you wouldn't do it. Do it, and you're proving all of us, which by the GOP, Donald Trump, and even Democratic metric, the radical left is somebody who wants to do something about climate change. That's the radical left. You want to do something about climate change, you're the radical left. So I'm the radical left by their standards, and yeah. So hey, own me because I said you wouldn't pardon Assange.
Fucking neck hurts again in that weird spot.
I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's got the guts, and I think he knows. Yeah, I just don't think he's got the guts to do it. I think I don't know. I don't know. Nothing. When I look at Donald Trump, I see no good coming from any of these people. I just see the only people who are going to change it are the people like you and me and normal people. We need to change this because they're just not going to.
I wish Adam Benson was watching right now. This guy looks just like our friend Justin.
Who are defending Jimmy because he's basically got the wrath of half the country, I think, at the moment. But, power concedes nothing without demand. And we need to start demanding that they free Julian Assange and pardon him and Snowden as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, this is, I appreciate your optimism on it because it's, it sucks that we all saw this tweet.
What's the other option, though?
No, I know. No, you're right. You're 110% right. But it's like, we see this tweet, and well, I guess for you it was evening, but for me it was morning.
You just commissioned a bronze statue of Florence Nightingale for your wife.
Was that pastor's tweet, and the first thing I thought was, okay, I'm not going to get my hopes up, but if this is true, that's huge. And that's what I tweeted. I said, if this is true, that's huge. And I said, okay, today's Get Your News On with Ron is going to be dedicated to this. So I got to, reschedule how I was going to do the show. I was going to talk about my Muni broadband meeting. That's not going to happen. That can wait till tomorrow. And, let me see if someone's around to talk about this with me. And fortunately, you were available. And,
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. And
Always got time for you, Ron. You know that.
And yeah, I mean, but it's just kind of, and I do appreciate that it's gotten an international shot in the arm, because it always needs one, and especially during the holiday season. This guy has been in solitary confinement for years, which is torture. He's been tortured for years. That's what's happened. He's away from his family. He's a high-risk individual, so if he gets COVID, he's in a lot of trouble, and he's in a place where there's been, to my knowledge, there's been outbreaks, right?
Yeah, there's like over 50 people who have caught COVID in Belmarsh right now. It's also worth noting as well that
I got a major pain in my neck.
the last 4 years, you and I have been reporting on the amount of fake news and misinformation there is out there. Here's a journalist with a 100% track record of the proof and accurate. And
Gordon Dimmack.
If ever we need the truth, right? If ever you, because every single one of us, Ron, you and I included, you know this as well as I do. We all believe a story that's false. All of us do. I will say that after from the last 4 or 5 years, how can any of us have the right view on every single story? But we have to come from a place where we start talking to each other and talking from a place where we know what basic facts are. And at the moment, we just don't. We don't know that because there are so many bad actors and individuals out there who are just there to muddy the waters and try and distort the narrative so power again can bugger off with all the power and money.
9 minutes. This will be a 4-hour stream.
You've got homeless people under bridges right now, haven't you? Over in America, it's just disgusting what they're doing.
Well, yeah, and I'll say this too, because you're absolutely right. And, we all get stuff wrong occasionally. I have been wrong about things in the past. I will be wrong in the future, to paraphrase Chomsky. I've been wrong before, I'll be wrong in the future. But with Julian Assange, for people in the media to be blatantly wrong or complicit, there is no excuse anymore. Because there is a difference between making mistakes, because that's part of being a human being, and when you're rolling with something that's breaking in real time and you're trying to get it right, but you're also trying to get it out there, you're going to have some missteps. That's part of being human. But with this case, with everything that's transpired, you are being willfully ignorant. And there is a world of difference between, getting stuff wrong because that's part of being human, and willful ignorance. And every single journalist who is complicit in this, who is silent on it, or who is spreading misinformation about it, there are no excuses. This is way worse than just getting something wrong. Because every single red herring they throw out there is laughably false, is absolutely ridiculous. Even the, he helped Chelsea Manning hack, and hacking's technically illegal. But, there's no evidence that he did that, and she keeps saying that he didn't. And they've tortured her to try to force a confession out of her, and she still won't say that. She won't give them the confession that they want. That's why they keep torturing Chelsea Manning. That's why they do it. They want Assange, and they're trying to get him through her.
The lack of moral standing in our media is incredible.
Oh, he's so good with those pronouns.
I recently did a podcast where at the beginning I wanted to talk about an article in The Guardian, and the headline in The Guardian was something like, Black Lives Matter has increased racial tensions, 55% say in a poll. And I looked at the headline, it was like, what? So it wasn't like the unarmed killing of black people. That didn't increase racial tensions.
Wow.
Kneeling on George Floyd's neck, that didn't increase tensions. And I looked at the guy who wrote it and what have you, and I just thought, should I reach out to this guy and ask him the question? Or maybe I will in future.
Did you call him?
It's like, why did you write that? Why did you write that? As a journalist, why did you write that? You know that you're writing this just because you know the Guardian are going to pick it up because it will make good propaganda for whatever tensions they want to stir up. Because let's face it, the Guardian are MI6 GCHQ's mouthpiece. You know, it's like, why did you write that specifically just to get paid, or did you write that because you didn't know what you were doing and you actually just got told and you would? If that's the case, either way, you're not a journalist. You know, you've got to have some sort of moral standing, and you've got to have some sort of morality to say, no, I'm not going to do that, because that's not the story. The story is unarmed the persecution of black people for centuries that is still going on now. The institutional racism of your police forces. That's what stoked racial tension, and it's come to a head. It's not hashtag Black Lives Matter, you absolute buffoon. But this is what the media do regardless. They have no sense of the damage that they're doing. I said to you about the damage that they do. Think about it with Julian Assange. They accused him of being a rapist, Ron. They smeared him of being a rapist. I spoke to a lady called Lisa Longstaff, who's the spokesperson for a group called Women Against Rape. She spoke at the Free Truth.
This is fucking grand. Fantastic.
And she says that what?
It really is. My neck is hurting me, but I might go out there and try to fuck with my exhaust pipes. I don't know. I will see you guys later. Thanks for the numbers, Jay. You guys check out my friend Ron Placone. That's who me and Karsten are watching, but none of you else are there. But that's where we're at. Ron Placone on YouTube. That's where we'll be. And I'll see you guys on Twitter. I will be on Twitter. You will be able to find me on Twitter. Okay? Take care, everybody. And I will talk to you very soon. I hope you enjoyed watching Donald Trump lose this election yet again. It's always fun every time they do it. Okay, you guys. Bye now.